Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening to us from on the surface of the planet Earth. I stole that line from my anyway, Princess Morade. Thank you and welcome everybody to today's show. It's called Heritage African Politics, where we want to talk about everything about politics in Nigeria, everything that has to do with the good governance of our country, of our great country, Nigeria. I have some few panels here in the studio with me today that we're going to be analyzing things, and I still have Fatai Okribido, who's still struggling to get into the studio from wherever he's on. Because of the lockdown, everything is being done remotely. I will probably advise you guys to please share as much as you can share so that this can go and get to where they're supposed to go to. I'm going to bring two of my guests in quickly, probably the three of them, with the exception of voice of Fatai Okribido, so that we can start. And we're still expecting one more person to join the show later on. Great. Men of valor, welcome to the show today. First of all, I'm going to go to Frank Bello because he's sitting next to me. Frank, how you doing, sir?
Yes, I'm cool. How are you?
Fantastic.
Pastor Ade?
Yeah. Because I call him apostle, he's not calling me pastor now. That's a good gesture anyway. Thank you for coming, sir. And I have Doctor all the way from America. Dr. Emmanuel, welcome to the show, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Frank Bello and Pastor Ade.
Yeah.
I am actually talking to you from Lagos, not from America.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Wow. From Lagos. Yeah, so we have a Lagosian in the building today. Fatai Okribido, I don't know what I'm going to say to you. If somebody from Nigeria can connect easily and somebody from England cannot connect easily, I think we're going to have to get some hot water to your house and pour it in your legs, not on your head, but on your legs. We're still expecting one more person to join us later on. That is the final screen we're going to be using later on. But in the meantime, so that we don't have a black screen in the middle, we're going to switch to this one. And hopefully I will have Fatai Okribido occupying the space right under me. He's actually in the car somewhere, and we can see outside his property or wherever he parked his vehicle. And I can see that it's probably a little bit of nippy raining where he is. Okay, where should I start from? Should I start from Nigeria? Should I start from England? Should we do a ballot for that to know where we're going to start from? But don't worry, we don't need a ballot. We're going to get the man from Nigeria to give us a little bit of insight to what he thinks, his own personal opinion about the address of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria yesterday, Muhammadu Buhari. And that is where we're going to go. We're going to go to Lagos quickly with Dr. Emmanuel. Doctor, what's your opinion about Buhari's speech yesterday?
Yeah, thank you very much, Pastor Ade, for bringing me back to your program once again.
Thank you.
Yesterday, we listened to President Muhammadu Buhari, and I want to say that I'm very happy that he said exactly most of the things I wanted him to say. The summary of the broadcast yesterday is that he's appreciating himself and his ministers and the health ministry officials. They appreciate the fact that it is not sustainable for Nigeria to be locked down. When I say Nigeria, I mean Lagos. Lagos is a mini Nigeria. If you lock down Lagos and Abuja, you have jolly well locked down Nigeria. So, like I said, I am happy the man said what some of us already felt should say, which is to relax the lockdown. You will agree with me that even the advanced economies of the world, like the United States of America, United Kingdom, United Arab Emirates, and so on. And so, majority of the people are left without no stimulus package. And so the question is, can the government afford to lock people down again for another 4 weeks? The answer is emphatic no. And I am glad that the president and his cabinet ministers realized that. Now, and the reasons why this is practically impossible in Nigeria is, for instance, the people who are captured by BVN in Nigeria is about 38.5 million people. And you can authoritatively say that these are the only number of Nigerians who are banking. And they study a central bank, report of few months back suggests that the percentage to only 2% of these 38.5 million people have $500,000 and above in their account, and the rest 98% of these 38.5 million have less than $500,000 in their account. So you look at this, you find out that the level of dependency, the burden of dependency that you'll be placing on those who you consider as rich is going to be so much, so heavy, that it will be unbearable. Now, we are looking at only the population. If Nigeria is 200 million and you take away 38.5 million, it means you're having about 160 million who are not using the banks. Do you think people who are millionaires can afford not to use the banks? It is certain that those who are not using the banks are very poor. So all the poor people, 160 million, and then the other 31 million, from the banking, who are also in the poverty line, under poverty line, will have to depend on these 2%. So the government reasoned very well and saw that this thing is not possible. So I think it's a very good idea. Today now, everybody in Nigeria agrees that there is coronavirus. Everybody agrees that coronavirus is deadly, very, very infectious. So the issue of whether it is political, whether it is aimed at getting money from donor agencies and so on is no longer there. So I think what they have done is good. Open up the economy. You may come up with dress codes. He has imposed a curfew, to also stop nightlife and so on and so forth. I think that is the way to go, because countries like United Arab Emirates have already relaxed the lockdown. They have started going to work. As advanced as they are, as qualified as they are, when you want to talk of social security, it's one of the countries that has the best social security in the world. A place where the only tax you pay there is VAT. There's nothing like CIT, there's nothing like pay as you earn, no development levy, nothing. So that is my summation on that.
Sir, I really appreciate your very good submission on that one. Very comprehensive enough. Frank Beto, quickly to you. You were not here yesterday, so we couldn't get your opinion yesterday, even though I understand you've actually voiced your opinion on some other platform since yesterday. What's your opinion about the budget, about the address from yesterday?
You see, number one, that broadcast yesterday, let's make it known to every Nigerian out there that was not a live broadcast. Again, make no mistakes. I'm a graphic expert, and I have analyzed the technical condition of where that broadcast was made. That's number one. Number two, you will find out. You remember on your platform and on my live stream, I criticized vehemently where the first two broadcasts were made, not at the presidential drop box. Another fraud that's been perpetrated yesterday by the powers that be was the fact that they've brought to Nigerians another face of another Muhammadu Buhari somewhere to face the camera, pre-recorded somewhere, and then superimposed at the presidential drop box, because they were listening to what you and I were discussing in this platform. They were seriously watching everything that's been coming out of me from my own live stream. Another fraud committed yesterday. Let them, again, I'm challenging them, let them come up with the lies they want to tell Nigerians the second time. Now, let me come back to the guest that we've got from the other side in Nigeria. I feel extremely disturbed, very, very disturbed here in the diaspora when people, especially Nigerians, when they compare Nigeria with the rest of the world. When they want to compare Nigeria with the rest of the world in terms of the salaries that your legislators want to give to themselves, they want to pair themselves with the other legislators, responsible legislators in developed world who work perfectly well for their people and their constituencies. If they want to dish out the money amongst themselves, they know how to pay themselves remuneration. Come to the business of governance and then delivering good government to the people that, well, either elected, selected, or fraudulently rigged the elections. It depends on which of the fence you want to be or the angle at which you want to perceive it. Nigerians will then to compare Nigeria with the advanced world. They would tell you, oh, you cannot compare Nigeria with a democracy of 200 years, 150 years, 300 years. Why not? China was never a developing nation. China was behind Nigeria way back in the 60s. As a matter of fact, at independence, the entire civilized world were looking up to Nigeria as a nation that will join the league of superpowers in no time. How come? How come, I repeat, in this day and age, Nigeria is having to look forward back to the East, to China, for China to loan them money? COVID-19 is here, is now exposing them. Whether COVID-19 is 419, if they want to term it 419, that is up to them. But how do you want to compare a nation, I made it known, a nation who, as of 2000, oil and gas exports accounted for more than 98% of their export earning capability and 83% of the federal government revenue. How do you account for that? How come that in the same year, from 2001 to 2005, an average price of the crude oil in your country at that time was on a modest benchmark of about $85 to $90 per barrel. This price rose to about $148.93 and right up to $150 per barrel. How come? I did some arithmetic with some people today, just today on my live stream. What's the total consumption of oil in Nigeria as at the year 2000? Nigeria was extracting. I gathered all this information. They were all there. Nigeria extracting 2,200,000 barrels of crude oil every day. I made a calculation. Let us be modest with ourselves. If Nigeria, okay, don't let us go into the $90 benchmark. Let us stay within the $85 benchmark. Come on. 5 years, that oil was consistently, check it out, was consistently above the $100 mark of the oil price. 2,200,000 barrels of crude oil every day. At $85, how much was Nigeria making? A day, your country was making a total sum of about $187 million per day. Multiply that by 7. That was $1,309 million. Multiply that by 52 weeks in a year, 68 billion $68 million. Multiply that by 4 years. You are talking about $272 million. What have you done with that money? How come Nigeria in this day and age, not knowing that COVID-19 is coming to hit them in 2020, what have they done with that money? What exactly have they done to prepare Nigeria for such a disaster like this? I hand over to you in the studio, and then we take it further from there.
We're going to go and scrutinize these pictures together. This is the two picture, a non-picture of the meeting in Abuja. The one on the left-hand side, Frank, the one on the left-hand side is the one they used yesterday. And the one on the right-hand side is one of the ones that we know about for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? Even the coat of arms are two different things. Because if you look at the bottom of one, it's nearly straight.
Look in there and look at the seat there. Look, the picture on the right, the right of my screen, that is the correct seat of the president. Look at the seat they used yesterday.
Yeah. When we look at that seat, the one on the right-hand side has got the logo, presidential logo inscribed on it. But the one on the left, there's no seat. We've investigated Abuja in the last 5, 6, 8 hours. And all the people, all the inside knowledge we have in Abuja said there's nothing like this. They're the one that actually sent me this picture and said, look, the bar on the one yesterday is 3, and the bar on the one before is 2. Where did they get the number 3 bar? Well, that
is it. Look at the original. Yeah. Because under your network and in my live stream, I scrutinize them based on the first 2. Look at, you've got 2 bars. Why have they got 3 bars? Everything. Look at flag, the armed forces flag. Look at the armed forces flag on the left. Look at the armed forces flag on the right.
Yeah. So let's give it to Doctor in Nigeria quickly. Doctor, what do you think? Wow. No, before Doctor, I'm just going to bring Mr. Okuribido, who managed to figure himself out. I don't know how he managed to do it. He managed to figure himself out. That we're going to get some hot water down to his house. So he decided to say, I don't want any hot water. I decided to go and fix it quickly. Welcome on board, Mr. Okuribido. It's nice meeting you. I think we're going to be having Olayomi Koiki very soon. I can see him, he's very active now on the network. So what we're going to do...
Mr. Okuribido, you're welcome.
We're going to go to Doctor in Nigeria.
Welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
See the 2 pictures, sir. The 2 pictures from yesterday.
I guess you're asking me.
Yeah, Doctor. Yeah, Doctor.
Yes. First of all, I want to say something. I want to ask Frank Bello a question.
Yeah.
Frank Bello has done an analysis, talked of if Muhammad Buhari's picture being superimposed and so on and so forth. And I want to get exactly, in summary, what is Mr. Frank Bello driving at? Is he saying the broadcast of yesterday was not a live broadcast?
Okay.
Or is it manipulate to Nigerians?
Go ahead, sir.
Or did the recording, did it outside? Know exactly the story is about, or the hypothesis, because everything we are analyzing concerning the environment, the coat of arms, the chair, the armed forces flag remains a hypothesis until you have an empirical evidence. So let me know exactly what is the summary.
Number one, the cabal and ASOC should stop deceiving Nigerians. The cabal and ASOC must come clean to tell Nigerians the right thing. They know exactly what to do. And I am challenging them and I am putting it to them. They should come clean. They should stop messing up Nigerians. If they are in a better position to screw up Nigerians in Nigeria by toiling and messing up their brains. They can't do such a thing to those who are in the diaspora, because diaspora are so sophisticated. Because with people who are not non-entity and who are not screwed up, we will squeeze them, we will scrutinize them, we will box them, we will spat at them, we will throw more at them. We will do everything possible in this world to get justice, good governance. Let them come clean.
Okay. Can I say something?
Thank you. You know, I was the person who was supposed to respond to this. Okay. But there's a question I asked Mr. Frank Bello. He still has not answered it. I am saying, what exactly is this hypothesis that you want the cabal in Aso Rock to come clean on? You see, tell me exactly what you're suspecting, what your suspicion is.
Let them tell us who the real Muhammadu Buhari is. Simple.
Fine.
We want to know. We want to know who the real Muhammadu Buhari is.
Fine. Now let me mention this. It is good. It's a good thing that technology has made it possible for us to. At times, things happen in Lagos here. My friends in US and UK get the information before me. That's technology. But I want to tell you something. Because we live in this country, we understand the dynamics of the politics of intrigues that is going on here. You see, this story of Muhammadu Buhari being Al-Sudani and so on and so forth stemmed from the fact, I'm telling you from my own point of view, I am not a Photoshop person, I am not a graphic designer, so I may not be good in, so on and so forth, that you people have that your own area. You, this by 2016, his health condition became bad, and to run. But one trip very remarkable. That trip was the one where he spent 103 days in United States, London, and up till today, that's we are not told what that event was, and so on. Before this man even became president, we had Nigerians like Ayo Fayose, the governor of Ekiti State, who did all sorts of publications and so on, telling Nigerians that the man was going to die in the office. He gave examples of other governors from the north, like the Abacha, Yaradua, who had died in office. And then the man eventually won the election. After he won the election, this publicity or the awareness of the fact that the man would die in office from this same Ayo Fayose and a group of other opposition. Now, when the man proceeded to England and spent 103 days, and the president did everything in secrecy and so on, the people announced his obituary. Had people say that Jonathan is most abused, and I say to them that what they have done around has paled into insignificance what Nigerians did to Jonathan. The man's obituary was announced in several media, electronic, Facebook, WhatsApp, and so on. They swore and they were too sure that the man was not going to come back. As it were, the man recovered and came back. And the moment the man came back, that was how the theory of Al-Sudani came out. The same group of people. I am not a politician, I'm not a graphic artist to do good content analysis, but I follow the news, I read a lot. It was this same group.
But I have done the analysis. I've done the analysis.
No, I'm coming. Fayose, Femi Fani-Kayode, and a host of other opposition leaders. They came up with this spin story that this man is a clone and so on and so forth. For goodness sake, we may not be as advanced as you guys are in the United Kingdom and in the USA, but we are no fools here. You understand? So, and they came up with that theory. And the aim of that is to convince those who believe in them, their teaming supporters, that the man has died, as they claimed he had died in the United Kingdom. And that story has been on and on and on and on. Between the time when that story came out and now, this same Buhari that we are analyzing the background where he has given us addresses 3 times in the last 4 weeks. This man that we are analyzing, he has made a lot of public appearances. He was in the campaign train of APC during the last year. By this time last year, okay, the election had taken place and so on and so forth. And for people to still be holding the theory of Al Sudani, well, everybody is entitled to know, but I'm telling you from my own point of view, that story. This two, the fact that this Muhammadu Buhari United Kingdom, you guys, doctors, not doctors. If it were Nigerian doctors, you would say, well, they are corrupt, they could have taken money to do anything. But they were treated. I do not believe that United Kingdom will be part of this conspiracy to hide the death of Muhammad far back in 2017 and then package somebody from Sudan to come and be ruling us from 2017 to 2019, and the person stood another election and won again, and the same person is the person addressing us now that we are not allowed. This is my own personal opinion, and this is my own personal view on this issue. So now you mentioned, they told you what I feel about it, and many Nigerians feel bad for this story that is going on. And to tell you that the people who spin this story to bring the Al Sudanese story and so on, Nnamdi Kanu and so on and so forth, the people are mischief makers. In my opinion, they are mischief makers. And unfortunately, many people who are not Buhari supporters, I do not like using the word haters, because I know that those who criticize Buhari are those who love Nigeria. They want things to change. So, but I like saying those who are not Buhari supporters are buying the story. But the question is, the same Fani Kayode who says the man we have there is South Sudan, is not Buhari, when he wants to, attack the presidency, he will say President Buhari should come out and tell us this. And I said, look, but you told us this man is dead. Now you want President Buhari to come and attend to you. So, my brother, it's a very funny hypothesis that these people sold to the world. And I laugh each time that hypothesis is coming up. The man,
Now,
the things happening in Nigeria is so terrible. And you guys who are in the media are in a position to know this more than me. We woke up one day in this country. I'm coming, please.
Doctor.
Frank Bello,
Right.
I want to give you some other instances. We woke up one morning in this country. Some people were sharing invitation cards of a purported wedding that this same Muhammadu Buhari, that some of you call Al Sudani, that the man was going to get wedded to the Minister of Humanitarian and Disaster Management. As that invitation card was being shared, governors, ministers, and people from all walks of life had to throng Abuja to attend, to witness that wedding. Lo and behold, it was all false. Somebody spinned that story, put it in the news, all to ridicule Muhammadu Buhari. So how many of these are we going to go over? So I'm surprised that you're saying we here can buy the story, but you people are advanced. Yes, you people are advanced. But I can tell you that we're on ground here, and we know what is happening here. So many terrible stories that are circulated. Within 24 hours, you will find out that they are all lies from pit of hell. So I want to leave it at that.
Yeah. Can I just quickly make
before you say something, let's welcome Olayomi Koiki, who has just joined us from Koiki Media in London, to the podium as well. He's one of our go-to man that makes things happen for us. Number one, I would like to say something. There's a few things we're gonna try and do today, which is a little bit different from what we did yesterday. I'm gonna give the comment side to Olayomi Koiki. So every time I show the full screen and take it away and show Olayomi Koiki alone and go back to the full screen, and then I go back to Olayomi Koiki alone, it means I want Olayomi Koiki to speak and they can go through the comments because the comments are actually, I don't know why, they're flying in thousands. We've managed to reach 105 people who are watching concurrently, and the comments are flying in. If we don't keep pace of it now, I don't think we're gonna be able to manage it again. So let's welcome Olayomi Koiki to the podium, and then quickly let him take some few of the comments because otherwise we would not be able to keep all of the comments, and there's no point in not engaging our audience in this conversation. And before Olayomi Koiki comes in, I'm going to say to Fatai Ogunibido to please turn the system down because I could see some wave going up and down. Turn your system down, Fatai Ogunibido. You can listen from the camera you're recording from, but if you have another phone there that's talking, please turn it down completely. And let's go to Olayomi Koiki now for the feedback on the audience.
Well, a very good evening to those of you watching us around the world. And I think there's always distraction when it comes to, and I've been listening carefully to our guest speaker all the way in Abuja. When it comes to, the presidency, there's always something that wants to know more, and it's just, there's nothing of curiosity. I mean, people want to engage with their president and whatever way it could be. But I think, maybe the media, publicity might have to do more so that Nigerians can have that engagement. But in terms of the suspicions, whether we have the real Buhari or not, let's go to the comment section and pick some of the comments that have been coming through. Lola Ola Sukomi says this man. That is also coming from there. Frank Emeka Henry with a lot of two smiles there. Jimo Akim, I'm smiling in Bari Chuku. I don't know what that he also says. Very laughable. Oji Oppo. I hope I pronounced the name. Very sorry if I did. Why not him take media charge? The president have not, and this is my own opinion, not really engaged, with the media in Nigeria when it comes to the media chart. And I think a lot of Nigerians will really, really want to see the president being, rigorously being interviewed, not a script interview that the president done, I think, with Arise TV at some time, that we know all that was choreography. We want a spectrum of journalists, even taking questions like we are doing right now, and I think maybe that would then put the the nail on the head. Also, Jocelyn Noah, what the heck is going on here with the question mark? I keep saying it when it comes to the president. Question about the president have addressed us 3 times. Location, well, maybe in Aso Rock, but the background has been different, and I'm sure, and it's done in every part of the world, not just in Nigeria. Even here in United Kingdom, you watch the shoe, you watch the smile of the Boris Johnson. I saw Boris Johnson coming out, after his first day yesterday on Monday. You could see the air moving around, and I have to make sure that I check it properly to make sure that is Boris Johnson. But I can tell you, with that air, it is definitely Boris Johnson. Let me take a few more comments, and I'll go back straight to us in the studio. Lola also says, no disrespect, sir. Stop. In fact, Masheru, I don't know what that means. Omobowale Teofilo, isn't it the right of the Nigerians to ask to speak to their president? Just like I said, until we have this kind of real engagement, we've seen that in not just, in Ghana, we've seen that in other part of the world. Nigerians wants to engage with the president, and not just when the president travel out. But, like we say, we will continue to have this conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory has always been there throughout our lifetime, and it will not end in this presidency as well. And the reason for that as well is we have to play back to remember Yaradua was taken out of the country. He was seriously healed, and nobody was told exactly what was the problem. Well, we can show what the history have said to that as well. I will take few more, and then I'll go back to you. Olusegun Daniel, we'll let the dogs out. Snoop Doggy Doggy. Ho, 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 ho. Let's take one more as well. Who is this man? And also Kingsley, tell him to remove his cap. Speak his language. Ha 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 ha. I'll put it on hold for now. Like I said, when it comes to the presidency, there's a lot of hoo-ha-la, and until the presidency really have this serious engagement, I mean, we have the technology, and we do all that, and I could say I had this kind of conversation in one of the group chat about 2 days ago. Why was the vice president not engaging Nigerians? And I was told by one individual in the group that the vice president is making things happen, economy of the country. Let me go back to you now in the studio.
Thank you very much, Alayo Mikoiki. Much appreciated all your effort to make sure that this program runs very well. I'm going to say something to Nigerians generally. Number one, everybody have their own style of government. It might be a style of government, but when there's so much noise about what is it doing, why is it going this way, to kill everything is supposed to get some few people. But with his performance during the election last time, right, just before the election, in which they were asking Buhari something, he has to turn to Oshibada and say, Oshibada, what are they saying? Maybe that is why the man is not, because I won't blame him. If you're going to mess him up, what's the point in coming to you if you're going to laugh at him? And this caused so much trouble. And some people are asking questions, actually, which we might probably start addressing some of this question. Somebody said, why can't he take DNA? I will answer that myself. He doesn't have to take DNA because any president cannot respond to every rumor, especially when the rumor can be termed as stupid. Yeah, to us, to them, it's stupid rumor, but to us, it might not be stupid. So let's go to Fatai Ogunibido first of all. Let's give him an audience. He has not been able to say anything since he came here because he came late, and sometimes he'll punish you late comment. I'm saying the only thing is that we didn't make him raise up his hand today and close his hand and raise one leg up. Fatai, the presidential address yesterday, what do you make of it? Your own opinions.
Moderator. And actually, listening since Doctor and Mr. Mino have been responding, actually, I've seen a scenario whereby we stress ourselves too much over the Nigerian politics issue. You see, frankly speaking, Doctor may not understand something about Nigeria. I mean, I don't know. You are not born yesterday. You seem to be more. I mean, by age and by experience, you seem to be more aware that definitely something fishy is happening in Nigeria. Unless we really want to fool ourselves, is this how a nation should operate? We are talking about a pandemic that has taken lives in the entire world, and the leader of a nation is not coming out visibly for people to see, for him to show concern. Today's our approach was so bedeviled with so much suspicion, because when you look at it, there was no eye contact with the people, no sign of sympathy. It's like a text being written out to an 18-year-old, be given that text to come and read it out, then just straight in and straight out. So if the cabal that is ruling Nigeria, if they have nothing to hide, why is it that Buhari hasn't shown up to the public in the past years? Why is it that Nigeria is being run as if it's a private entity? And I will make mention of what Yomi earlier noted Nigerians about the current issue. Now, between 2009 and 2010, we saw what played in Nasrallah, when Yonada was in Saudi Arabia hospitalized, and Nigeria was held for almost 6 to 7 months without leadership. And we were all witnesses to what happened during that time. The looting by the then cabal, how contracts were being awarded to each other, how money were being carried away from Asoro. So for somebody now to be defending this Buhari, honestly, it's very disgraceful. I'm sorry to say this, but we have 200 million people. I was watching a clip today about Nigeria, and that clip is a newscaster in America defending Nigeria, lambasting Trump. The reason why he's trying to say that Nigerians should not be given priority to come to America. And this lady was placed Nigeria as one of the best educated people in the entire world. Even that the entire America should be respectful to because of the way Nigeria carry themselves across the world. So we are a 200 million people, and we are now being put across a president that has never been proactive. What are we talking about? We are just a laughing stock of the entire world. If Rambello is suspecting the man in Nasoro, he has every reason. Why can't we see our president and be more, even if he's sick? We are in the position to be more sympathetic to him. We are in the position to show all our concern about him. In the way it's being, the way it's being hidden, it's going to show that nobody cares about how Nigeria is running. And frankly speaking, Nigeria is actually is on auto drive. The same command that actually has seized power since the end of the war, they are still the same command that's ruling Nigeria. Even when the Southerner has the opportunity of ruling Nigeria, the security of Nigeria is still in the hands of this cabal. They are the one that issued the contract out. They are the one that. So it's really disgraceful. Nigeria is non-existing. It's fake. It's only a honeypot being created for the big world. Because the command, they are not doing all this isolation. They have their people across the world. The doctor was mentioning earlier on that even though Britain will not be, a party to conspiracy about Buhari, so, I mean, who are those that are even backing those people? So whatever is happening in Nigeria, definitely is directly from a lot of things are happening about Nigeria. It's disgraceful. And we witness what has been happening about what the participation of politics in Nigeria, the South and the West, the South and the North. We've seen the way, I mean, it's disgraceful. It's annoying. We can't be fooled like this forever. It's really unfortunate that we are running, I mean, 60 years backward. And yet people are defending this government and defending the atrocities that the cabal. Go to the streets in Nigeria. People are suffering. Go to the streets in Nigeria. No roads. I've been 2 years. I went to Nigeria a few weeks ago. I can't see any difference. The roads are so appalling. People are hungry. Everybody you see, even those that rate high, they approach you. They want you to give them money. How long are we going to live like this way in Nigeria? And what I can deduce is the only money that we are spending in southern Nigeria are the money that are coming out from both the civil service, and then the help that people in diaspora are giving people in Nigeria. Any other thing in Nigeria is nil. In Nigeria is doing every day. Serious looting. Nothing is happening within Nigeria at all. This is what they have their plan. Nigeria is fake. And we cannot continue like this as a people, especially in South Nigeria. Nobody can prove to me that they love Nigeria more than I do. I'm a reporter. I've covered Nigeria for several years, and I show my passion, my love, my everything. But right now, Nigeria is complete nil. We are just being fooled. And those who are fooling us, they understand what they are doing. They have no faith in the country. That's why they're not building hospital. They have no faith in the country. That's why they're not building good roads. They have no faith in the country. That's why we have no any national carrier. They have no faith in the country. That's why we cannot even upgrade our airports. So Nigeria is nil. It's on its nails as I'm speaking. Why do we have to be fooling ourselves? We have to be realistic. We have generations coming in the future that we have to preserve today for. Let us be realistic. Nigeria is not existent. It's a fake contraption. This is the reality.
Thank you very much, Fatayo Gonibido. I really appreciate that. I can see some hunger in Fatai Boni. But what I want to say is we cannot vest anger on Doctor, because one of the things I want you to realize is that Doctor is in Nigeria. He has to mind his speech, because if he doesn't mind his speech, problem might be coming from every angle you can think of in the whole world. So I won't blame Doctor for acting the way he's acting. But one thing I find out is that it's only the people in diaspora that are making noise about Buhari. Yesterday we have FFK on the show, and the same opinion he has about Buhari speech yesterday, the same opinion Doctor actually has. So they are the people on the ground over there. So they might see what we're not seeing. Because when FFK was talking yesterday, he said something. He said he's not a fan of Buhari, but he thinks the step Buhari took yesterday was a step in the right direction. And that is what I call a gentleman. A gentleman to the core, that he can, when your enemy is doing good, you can say, yes, he's doing good. And when he's doing bad, you can say, yes, he's doing bad. One thing I wanted to say, Doctor, it might be an hypothesis to the people that are in the diaspora, but looking at things, the way things have been done, right? For the last 1 month or so, we haven't had or seen Oshibajo outside. Do you know how can we not see our vice president outside for 1 month? Could you tell us anything you know about that, Doctor from Nigeria?
Yes. Now, I want to make reference to some of the things that the last speaker said, rather point of information. I want to make it very clear here that I'm not a spokesperson of the Muhammadu Buhari, administration. I'm not a spokesperson of the APC. But I have the right to tell you what my views and opinion is on any national issue.
That's correct.
You cannot stampede me into accepting whatever you say. So I will appreciate if he does not assume that I am defending this government. All I said, the summary of what I said when I was talking last time was that what I did was I gave you people the history of the Muhammadu Buhari, al-Sudani hypothesis and so on. And I said I disagree vehemently with the hypothesis. And I have my right. I have right to say I do not believe in your hypothesis. And that's all I did. Now, on this issue of the president not coming to talk with us as frequently as other presidents are talking, certainly you have a point. It is probably not the best of way to run a country. That Oshibajo has not been seen in the public in recent times. Yes, he has not made public appearances, but he has been involved in meetings within the villa. You are aware that the president just lost his chief of staff a few days ago to COVID-19. And you are aware that the late chief of staff of the president, upon his return from Germany, he has interacted with both the vice president, the president, and all the kitchen, cabinet members of this administration. And for the man to have died of this COVID-19 is enough to send fears into anybody. And I'll tell you something, a lot of stories, a lot of news have been shared about the COVID-19. And the most scary of all those news is that the COVID-19 problem is airborne. I don't know if you people have heard it. We have also heard that it is the most contagious virus in town now. We have also heard that it doesn't have a vaccine, it doesn't have a cure. We have also heard that the only way you can get over this thing is to limit your appearances in the public and then try to boost your immune system. And I am not saying for sure that this could be the reason, but I am anticipating that this might be the reason why the man is not appearing. But he has appeared in several meetings in the villa. In the last few days, he has been appearing in meetings in the villa, but has not appeared in the public. And I want to digress a bit to tell you something. I have an office in Freetown, in Sierra Leone. And the president of Sierra Leone comes out on 2 weekly basis to make broadcasts to Sierra Leoneans. But 2 weeks ago, one of his security details tested positive for coronavirus. The moment that news got to the man that the guy has tested positive and he has been taken to the isolation center, the president and his entire family went underground, including the vice president. For the past 2 weeks, the man has not appeared anywhere. I am not justifying whatever secrecy the cabals are keeping here. But to anybody to say I am defending this government, it's not right. I want to also say something. The last speaker has said that they are not building roads in Nigeria, nothing is working, Nigeria is finished and so on. I want to disagree with him vehemently. The nature of the business I do has taken me around the whole of this country, and there's virtually no part of the world I've not been to. I can tell you authoritatively, because he brought that issue of nothing happening in Nigeria. The second River Niger, the Niger second bridge, that was used to play politics by the last administration for 16 years. The foundation stone of the second Niger bridge was laid 3 times by the PDP administration. You can verify all this. Each time they will come, when election is coming, they will come there and lay the foundation and tell the Igbos that we are trying to give you a second Niger bridge. And we are going to build a 10-kilometer bypass from the bridge to bypass all the traffic in Onitsha, so that getting to Owerri will take you a few minutes from Onitsha. And the Igbos, as usual, will vote for PDP. When this project was awarded, little or nothing started happening at that site. It was this same administration that you say is not doing any work, that is working day and night. They have already established a website. I will send you that link later after this program, where you can click anytime and see the ongoing work there. All the piling work on that bridge has been completed. They have the 10-kilometer bypass, which is going to join the bridge at the Onitsha end, is the construction work is ongoing. Now, the PDP administration commenced building of, interstate, rail lines, and bringing in of coaches. They did a lot and stopped somewhere. This administration has embarked on massive rail line construction. The Lagos-Ibadan rail line construction is almost, being completed. We have the Abuja-Kaduna rail line. We have so many other rail line projects that are ongoing. On road construction, massive road construction is going on in this country. You can ask the southeastern Nigerians who have been complaining of neglect. The Enugu-Onitsha Expressway, which was abandoned for 16 years that PDP was in power. Some sections of that road had already been completely taken by, in fact, it's like a forest. This administration has opened it and the construction work is ongoing day and night as we talk now. Several contractors to ensure the completion. This is in southeastern Nigeria. The Port Harcourt-Owerri Expressway, which has been a death trap for many years, is undergoing serious rehabilitation as I talk now. Now, for this man to come and say that no work is going on here, I don't think it's very right. What it means is that you think that we in Nigerians here are fools, that we're not criticizing the government or we're not saying anything. The Enugu airport, for which a noise was made when it was shut down early last year, I'll tell you the history of that airport. That airport was awarded to Pius Anyim. Pius Anyim's company was given the contract of rehabilitating and upgrading that airport to international standard. The job was so shabbily done and all the money is paid out. And this administration came. That airport, the last time I flew out of that airport, early last year, I think it was 3rd of January or 6th of January last year, the airport runway was very bumpy. And I think after then, the administration that you say is not doing any work, they went ahead and said, look, we cannot allow IOTA to come here and shut down this airport. They shut down that airport and said, look, we need to do a re-engineering and fix this airport. For the period the planning of that project was going on, the Igbos started to complain. They started to say it is because they don't want them to go home for Easter, blah, 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 blah. I'm an Igbo man, a core Igbo man, and I use that airport. That airport is about 80 kilometers from my town. So I'm flying to my town, Oka, the capital. I fly to Enugu, and then I drive by road. You understand? Eventually, government has to re-award that contract. Now, the question people are not asking is, this job was awarded to a construction company belonging to an Igbo man, and he didn't do that job well. Nobody is asking that question. And these people have come now, they have awarded that contract. If not for COVID-19, that airport would have been commissioned by this Easter. We would have used that airport in Easter. Is it in Lagos here? The Lagos-Badagry Expressway, which for many years has been undergoing what I will call patching. Patching and tear, patching and tear. You patch it today, the moment the next rain comes, it washes off. If you get to that expressway now, the type of, first of all, they are building concrete roads, concrete paving. is what they are doing there. And the thickness of the road, the concrete they are casting, is about 12 inches. I have never seen any road in Nigeria that solid. They are running and then casting its entire concrete paving, that they are doing there. They have taken it up till Toyota before the lockdown started. I wouldn't know if that work is ongoing. You go to so many other parts of Nigeria. So for anybody to come and say, and there is something, each time we are discussing what is happening. Hello?
Okay,
Hello?
let me just before I think let me just quickly come in. I think the problem we have with the government is I'm just watching right now on my other screen, and I think if Heritage will be able to show that in about a few minutes. A live radio chat of Governor El-Rufai and the deputy, and this is having other radio presenter there asking question. This is what we want to say with the president as well. It can be done. I agree with you that you're mentioning that the vice president could not come out on the Syria alone. We're not asking them to come out. You are in Abuja and we can bring you live onto the screen right from inside your house. That could also be done, with the vice president. The technology is there. The vice president doesn't even have to leave his bedroom. All he needs to do is connect to all the media channel and they can throw those questions to him live there and the same president. And yes, I mean, you could talk about, the infrastructure and the construction going on. I was in Nigeria as well. But we have to understand that as we speak right now, you could have the benefit of having electricity right in Alimosho local government. There's no electricity at the moment. And if there's no electricity, any other project that the government is putting on, it's not going to work. We have, Nigerians right in Nigeria, I mean, as we speak today, even during this COVID-19, that can't even have access. I mean, I'll give an example. We have Lagos State, where people are sitting down at home and they cannot even tell, some of the artisans to at least produce, the face mask, but they are ready to order that face mask all the way in Cross River State. Why would Lagos State want to order 1 million face masks in Cross River State when we have the Gaussians that at least I have about 1 or 2 people that are doing the face mask? So what we are trying to say is, the government can be doing all this project, but the reality is nothing works on ground. I was in Nigeria as well. I covered the election in Nigeria. And I know I still live in Nigeria, but what we are saying is we cannot, have a system where we are not getting engagement. As I speak to you right now, right in front of this screen, I could see the deputy governor of Kaduna State addressing the radio presenter. The governor is there, and right inside their own, in the room, and it's been beamed out. And I can tell you one of the comments that have just been put out on that same thread, live, people, it says here, people to do something with their life. I am living in Rome in Italy. This is sickening. It's not killing black people. It's only killing white man and woman. And somebody also say in that same broadcast that is happening that, there will not be anything like, well, I think Heritage have already put that on. So what we are saying is, if this can happen with a state government, we need to understand why the vice president and the president doesn't really want to have a similar approach like this to Nigerians at home and Nigerians outside the country. I'll go back straight to you in the studio.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to go back to Doctor, yeah? Doctor, if you give me 1 minute, I'm going to put your microphone back on again, yeah? Okay, Doctor, go ahead now.
Yes, I am with you on that. I do not see any reason why they should not be doing that. And it is only through our agitation and condemning the style that they are using, they are running the country on now, that will change. But having said, I need to correct some impressions about what the last speaker said, and that Nigeria is not working.
Kaduna. Let's go to Kaduna quickly and listen to what they were saying over there. Let's go to Kaduna quickly and listen to some of the things they were saying over there.
Yadda za mu yi mu samu mutane sosai inda za su tsaya a wurin da su tsara wannan wurin sun mun da shi kamar guda kada sauran wuraren da kuma mun dage ne ba wanda zai iya shiga. A gaskiya yadda ka faɗa akwai nan NYS saboda wanda suka fito daga Abuja idan suna shigowa ta nan Kaduna idan ba mu yarda da su ba ko su koma inda suka fito ko kuma su zauna a wannan wurin sai kwana har 10.
One a little bit to the broadcast of the president yesterday. If you look at this broadcast, Even if the quality is not good, we can see that the lightning on their clothes are the same. The background is the clothes is not too shining compared to the background. Everything seems to be okay. I want to give this to Fatai Okribido first because I think he's the one who is more aggressive among all of us. Yeah, Fatai, go ahead.
Now, I appreciate Doctor for the work that he has done for the government and APC tonight. Honestly, you'd be better off for this government as the information minister than Lai Mohammed. And I hope somebody within that government is noticing your performance tonight. Well done. You are a very good PR, and honestly, I give that to you. You are a very good man. You mean well for this government. And only that we can't all live in fool's paradise. We have to be realistic. And I'm not trying to completely condemn this government, but we know what Nigeria has gone through in the past 60 years, especially since after the war. How a group of people, have hijacked the nation and they treating the nation as if it's their, is their father's house. So all these realities are staring at us in the face. As I said earlier on, a country of billion people, and yet we are performing in the entire world, building the entire world. There's no where you go in the entire world that you will find Nigerians, and they are excelling very well. And they're here in Britain and America. Every Nigerian you see there, they are unique in so many ways. How can such a country with such buoyant future, with such vibrant performance, and now being so in the entire world as if it's a country of gangsters, a country that is like an animal farm. Everything happens in Nigeria is like a joke. So we have to be realistic. It's not that I hate nobody. Nobody can say they love Nigeria more than I do. But the point remains that this is 2020. More than 15, 16 years ago, we were learning about Vision 2020, which governments then were trying to put in place. What has happened since then up to date? Nothing can be shown for the so-called vision of 2020. It was so popular. It was launched. We all knew about it. So right now, go to Nigeria today, people are being made to suffer because of these pandemics. No food supply for them, no plan prior. I just pray that within the next 1 to 2 months, there will be no mass suicide in Nigeria because Nigerians have had more than enough. The suffering is too much for the people. We can't just pretend as if things are okay for Nigeria when many projects that even the government of PDP started are being completed by this government and they are laying claim to the credit. You can't come here to fool us when you know that more than 85% of the so-called APC people are from PDP. So what are we talking about? We have had a series of failure in governance in Nigeria. The only time we had a bit of leap forward was during the government of Jonathan. And nobody could have said that was a passe PTP government, but he couldn't change the name because we saw those that he paraded in his government. We saw people that of international.
Fatai, quickly. Can I give you a clap for doing a good job to Jonathan government as well? Because that's what you
are to the other man. Well, it is reality that is on ground. When Fashionable came to government,
are you a PDP man?
Yes, I'm. No. I swear to God, I never known anybody in PDP. I swear to God Almighty. Evidence of ground is what I follow. And then we were all here. When Fashola came to government,
let's give it to Frank Bello quickly.
Fashola and Amechi, when they came to government, when they came, the first was that they will anything until they completed the project that the last PTP government started. We all read it in the papers. So I'm not trying to do any PR for anybody. But the fact remains that all those things they did then that they completed, they take credit for it. That is what the doctor has been saying. That's why I'm mentioning this. Not that I really want to be.
Take you off anybody. I'm going to give it to Frank Bello because Frank Bello seems to be writing some few things down. We want to share his paperwork with him, and let's see that. Wow,
Frank Bello is writing a thesis.
He seems to be writing a book about this political thing today. So let's see what Frank is doing.
Yes, Doctor seemed to amuse me, and I was completely mesmerized with
I have to say to you guys that when you are speaking, the amount of comment that's coming when people are speaking matters because I don't know where the comments are coming from. The comments so far tonight is over 800 comments already. So, and we haven't done it long.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've probably done about an hour.
Frank Bello is online. If Frank Bello and Fatayo Guribido are with you, don't worry about that.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So,
You say let's share
uh,
your book with us. It's a shame I can't see.
yes,
I can't turn the camera to see your paper. I would have loved to show what you're writing.
yes. I was completely gobsmacked and mesmerized with Doctor. Doctor is doing a fantastic PR job for the APC. Well, first, let me make it clear. I'm not a PDP man. I'm not an APC man. I don't belong to any political party. I'm not a card-carrying member of any political party. I am neutral. All I want is for any government that comes into power to deliver a good governance. I'm only interested in good governance and nothing else. Now, let me come back to Doctor, because Doctor hammered in on a few issues that I really want to take up with him. First, was the issue of the national airline carrier. Now, again, let's go back. Let's rewind. 1979, when Obasanjo was leaving power, how many aircraft did Obasanjo left behind with the new government of Alhaji Shehu Shagari, MPN, that came into power? Shagari bought some aircrafts as well, but who liquidated and completely ruined Nigerian Airways first? Now, another administration, Fulani administration, came. They fooled Nigerians. Oh, we are going to bring back Air Nigeria or Nigeria Air or whatever. Your Minister of State for Transport flew to England. Somebody who was part and parcel of those that helped them to put together their presentation here in the UK is listening to this program, and she's making comment. She's online on this program because I invited her in. They fooled Nigerians. The APC government. Oh, they said, oh, we will bring in the Nigeria Air or Nigerian Airways. I told people, I said, they are fooling you. People, they won't deliver anything. But in the meantime, I knew the level of corruption that the same people have been perpetrated. That level of corruption in the country at the time perhaps should have built many schools, hospitals that should have protected them. Now in 2020, that COVID-19 is having to expose their bloody dirty linen outside. FFK, Doctor made note of FFK, Femi Fani Kayode, like father, like son. Do I really trust FFK after his connections with Abba Kyari? Don't you know Abba Kyari's connection with FFK? Don't you know that whilst FFK continue to attack Muhammadu Buhari, but behind the scene and behind closed doors, Abba Kyari continue to feed FFK with some thank you gesture, and all they were playing was to fool the people. Step in the right direction for Muhammadu Buhari. Of course, Femi Fani Kayode will have to link his old friend, who is hoping to become the new chief of staff, to the impostor in Asorok. I don't think you've come on to Buhari there. I'll use that word, impostor. Let them all come out. Let them come out. And that is actually taking me to a good place, because Doctor did make mention of DNA. Okay, now that the whole diaspora, everybody, those who doesn't like Muhammadu Buhari, in and outside Nigeria, continue to bash Muhammadu Buhari, that he should make his presence known. Let him take off his mask. We've dissected here using some of the highest publishing technology to tell you exactly what is happening inside Asorok, to unveil the mask inside there. How do we have suddenly one young Muhammadu Buhari that's about 40 years, and then the next day you have this light-skinned Muhammadu Buhari with a blemished skin, that the skin is even smoother than my skin? Then you get some Nigerians telling you that, oh, Frank Bello, don't you know that there's advanced in vitamins and supplement? The president is taking loads of vitamins and supplement. Ooh, you better might as well introduce me to that vitamins and supplement too, because I want to take that. But perhaps doctor did not know. Maybe I will have to probably post that to you on Heritage TV to see how people manufacture latex, and they wear latex. They will mold your latex and people will think it is your latex. Let them tell us who is that impostor in Asorok. After all, who said it? Your APC chairman, Adam Soshomole, said the moment he's removed as APC chairman, he will tell Nigerian, reveal to Nigerian who is in Asorok. Who said it again? Rochas Okorocha. If he's not given his seat at the Senate, he will expose the impostor at the Senate. How come the Sultan of Sokoto traveled all the way from Sokoto to come, kneel, beg Rochas Okorocha not to please disclose that man in Asorok? Let them carry out a DNA test. How come that we, everybody, progressive Nigerians, are bashing up the same impostor, and Aisha Buhari is not even talking to defend her husband? How come that the same Aisha Buhari that was seen in public with the husband, that will hug the husband, is no longer being seen outside? Now, you did make mention of the same wedding invitation between Shadia Farouk and Muhammadu Buhari. Do they want to deny that? They can't deny that, because that wedding was particularly planned. It was not the original Muhammadu Buhari. It was not. They planned it. They planned that wedding, but because that wedding became a public affair, that was why that wedding was cut down. I can authoritatively confirm to you that they planned that wedding. They wanted that wedding to carry on. And this same Shadia Farouk, I can authoritatively confirm to you, she's been cooking for the supposed Muhammadu Buhari inside Asorok.
To be able to cope with the amount of feedback that's going on quickly, yeah? I'm going to give it to Yomi. Should we give it to Fatai first, or should we give it to Doctor before we go?
We could give to, let's go with Mr. Fatai, then we'll go back to Abuja, and then we take Fatai, more comments.
Let's hear your voice.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Frank Bello. We can see that the analysis given by Frank Bello, can't be completely wished off. Because we are all human beings and we all have passion for Nigeria. If Nigeria happens to be a well-organized place, nobody wants to stay in another man's land, because there's nobody outside of Nigeria who happens to have Nigerian blood that is happy outside of Nigeria. So the decadence that has been left, through the bastardization of governance in Nigeria, as some Kiba as hijacked the entire nation, is reverberating both for our past and even into the future. Because right now, when you walk on the street of Nigeria, what can we say that we have gained in the past 60 years? Nothing. I mean, electricity. What I'm trying to see in Nigeria is there is a major conspiracy against that.
That give you guys something to smile with, something to laugh with.
Yes.
Okay, wait a minute. Yeah? I will give this one in turn by turn. Look at this picture. I'm sure somebody can get infected with disease in this van.
Definitely.
And this is the
Nigeria is a joke.
Municipal
Nigeria is a joke. It's a joke.
this is
That
this
country
is
still
this is.
broke.
So
Let's
we
go
are
to
we can't. We
doctor
can't.
first. Yeah, let's go to doctor first on this one. Yeah, I've taken it away from Frank. Yeah, doctor, what can you say to
Yes,
defend this hospital van?
yes. That's talking of the issues that Frank Bello raised, right?
Yeah,
Hello.
hello, talking about this hospital van.
Yes. You
We're
want
gonna
me
leave
to
that one because I have two
react to?
questions for you. This is the first
Yes.
one.
Now,
Hospital van.
now, the first question that Frank Bello raised was on the Nigerian Airways, who liquidated it, and so on. I will try to take them one after the other.
Okay,
Now, as at the time Obasanjo was handing over power to in 1979, Obasanjo left 23 airplanes with Nigerian Airways.
23. Yeah,
23 airplanes,
yeah.
and we had planes going to, I think, Gatwick, then New York, Johannesburg, and so on and so forth. And they were doing quite well. Of course, as at that time, domestic airline operation, we didn't have many players in the domestic airline, operations. So Nigeria Airways was even dominating, domestic, operations. Now, by the time Obasanjo came back 20 years after, in 1999, only one plane was left. And the man, in his wisdom, he looked at it, 23 planes in 1979, and by 1999, 22 had gone. And there's no way the one plane there can even take care of the overhead cost of running the airline. So, in his wisdom, he completely closed down Nigerian Airways without paying a dime to all the workers. Obviously, the man was too bitter that they were all part of the problem. Now, what were the things that killed Nigerian Airways? It's one thing: corruption. In those days, when Nigerian Airways was being run by Nigerian people, first class and business class seats was almost carrying people free, either because the person is a girlfriend or a cousin or a niece of the minister or the commissioner. So they will just send a note to Nigerian Airways and they will issue business class, first class tickets. That was part of the reason. And then coupled with the fact that they were also stealing the money that the airline was making. And of course, there was no way such a business could survive. Let me digress to tell you, as at that time, when Nigerian Airways had 23 planes, Emirates started with just 2 aircrafts. Today, Emirates has over 356 aircrafts in their fleet, comprising of 777, the biggest Airbus, 467, and so on and so forth. Now, so Obasanjo closed down Nigerian Airways because he knew there was no way they could survive with only one plane. Now, the PDP administration tried to reenact a national carrier. They went into discussion with Blanton, the CEO of Virgin. That was why you had what was called Virgin Nigeria then. But what happened? Exactly some of the things that shut down Nigerian Airways, they started doing it. They started sending notes, to the ticketing managers, please issue 5 business class tickets, on this trip, Lagos Heathrow, Lagos New York of Virgin. And how many seats do you have in a business class compartment of an airplane, depending on the size? Some of them have 12 and some have 24. So the man looked at the thing. The management of Virgin looked at this thing and said, no, 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 no. We're not going to allow these people's virus of corruption to come and affect us. And they called it quits. And that was why that venture died.
Did you
Now,
remember
if
what Virgin
anybody,
Man said? Doctor, did you remember what Virgin Man said about doing business with Nigerians in Nigeria?
yes,
Can
can you
anybody
remind
help
me
him?
what he said?
Yeah, can anybody help him about what Richard Branson
Yes,
said?
No,
yes,
if you know exactly what the man said, tell
Okay,
me.
Frank
But
Bello
I know,
remembers. Yeah, Frank, tell us what did Virgin, what did
yes.
Richard Branson say?
Sir Richard Branson said he regretted every penny he invested in Nigeria, and that Nigeria was
beautiful.
so, he never knew Nigeria was so corrupt.
Good,
Okay,
good. Thank you, Frank Bello. It is not different from exactly the story I was giving you. I was giving you the details of some of the ills The ugly things that really set up that made Blanton to pull out of that deal completely. Now, if anybody has proposed coming up with an Air Nigeria agenda, I tell you it can never work. The reason why I'm saying this, unfortunately, you people have painted me an APC and Buhari spokesman. I am not.
No, I haven't. I
Just,
haven't.
just like
I haven't painted you anything. I'm
let,
not a painter.
yes,
Frank, are
Frank
you a painter?
Bello
Do you
and
paint
my
yourself?
brother here have painted me an APC, but I am not. But
And
I want
most
to
of
tell
and
you
most of
something.
the comments as
You know
well.
what I like about
Most
this
of the
thing?
comments coming through.
Okay, let's go to
Now,
our
You are
quick
speaking
what
the moment
wait.
minister.
what we are trying to do? Sorry, I'm trying to round up.
Okay,
So like I was saying, if anybody is thinking of floating an airline called Air Nigeria, I am telling you, give it 1 year or 2 years, it's going to go underground again. Because the level of corruption in Nigeria today is alarming. We are talking about the government, the people, our political leaders. I want to ask a question here. If you want to pick leaders for Nigeria tomorrow, are we going to go to the United Kingdom or the USA or United Arab Emirates to pick them? Is it not from this society? It is the society. The society is the pool through which the leadership will emerge. And let me tell you something. At family meeting level, we came up together. We have a very large family, Igbos who are in Lagos here. And we said, look, let's start a family meeting. And the senior cousin of mine was made the treasurer. We pulled out money to have, money we were going to start with. And I told them, I said, look, open a bank account and keep this money there. They said, no, after all, we are brothers. How much are we making that we should go to the bank? The man they gave the money to chopped the whole money. By the time we asked for that money, he said we didn't give him enough notice. I said, what kind of, and somebody said, look, okay, can you use ATM? Because that day was a Sunday, the meeting day. He said, look, why don't you use ATM to go and bring out the money? He said he doesn't use ATM, that he's an analog man. Anyway, the short of it all is that money went. And that was what scattered that family meeting. And I keep saying to them, if this my cousin becomes a local government chairman, a governor, or a president, do you expect anything different from that? So I want to point out something here. The society is corrupt. And it is from this society that another leadership will emerge. Now, when we want to have elections, I want to hold Nigerian elites responsible for this. The Nigerian elites do not come out to vote during the elections. I do not know if you agree with me, Frank Bello, and my brother here. They don't come out to vote, especially if it is raining that day. The people who vote are the proletariats, the masses. These are people who they will give a loaf of bread for 15 naira and they will vote. They are the only people who are ready to come out with umbrella, with raincoat, and stand in the sun, in the rain. And one thing, a former American president, he said, the electorate does not stand on the rain or the sun to vote for a politician because he loves the politician. But the electorate hopes that by voting for this politician, he will entrench laws and things that will better his life. But the question is, these people, because they are poor and they are vulnerable, and the politicians know it, the politicians will dole out peanuts to them, and they will go out and vote wrongly. And me and you who are here now speaking grammar, doing analysis, we don't vote in Nigeria. I don't know if anybody will agree with me on this. This is the greatest problem we have in this country. The North are dominating the politics of this country. Do you know why? The reason why they are dominating the politics of this country is because they understand the dynamics and the way the game is played. When you call for voter registration today, the Igbo man is not ready to leave his shop to go and do registration. The Yoruba man is not ready to leave his timber business or whatever business he's doing to go and do registration. Now, the Hausas will go and gather Alemajaris who are underage, load them in coastal buses, take them to where the registration is done. When the voter card is out, they will collect the cards and keep it on behalf of the Alemajaris. The moment it's election day, they will hire buses, load them from the houses of the candidates, go to the polling station. The moment they finish voting, they collect the cards back. That is the secret why they are dominating this country. But we will come here, speak grammar, do analysis. At the end of the day, we are not going to go and register to vote. We won't go and struggle to get our voters card. And when it is raining that day, we say, well, why should I even go and vote? I have friends who are PDP supporters, PDP apologists, who will even fight on behalf of PDP. But on election day, they do not go out to vote. And I asked the man why. He says, why will you stay in the sun? And I said to him, look, if you are not going to vote for a PDP supporting, you are automatically voting for APC, which is supposed to go to the PDP, be a lost vote, while the APC mobilizes all the people from all the nooks and crannies to vote for them. So this is what I have to say concerning what is happening in Nigeria. We are blaming the leadership, but we produce the leadership, whether we like it or not. Some people will argue that they didn't win an election, where they rigged themselves into power. But what did we do? When they rigged themselves into power, what did we do? Were we ready? In Thailand, many years ago, the people, the Thai, they came and said, look, sorry, we do not like the government we're having. It was a democratically elected government. They took the demonstration to the international airport in Bangkok, one of the busiest airports in the world. They sat down there, they were making their meals there, they were doing everything there. And after 5 days, the government had to flee. The entire government structure had to run away. The Supreme Court came based on their constitution, picked an interim leadership and so on before they now had another election. So are we ready to do this? Do we just do an analysis, pour our hearts out, and so on and so forth, and we leave it there? So we are not going
And
to do whenever.
And that goes to a question. Let me just chip this question in quickly. And this is coming from Kofi Ali Abdul Yakini. The saddest thing is you all are well educated, but with all the education you have got, you are even incapable of seeing that Nigeria and Benin Republic share the same predicament even after 60 years of independence. Can't you see? Question mark.
Good. The person who has raised that issue has raised a very valid point. And it still goes back to what I am saying. You see, there is no forum where you go to discuss the Nigerian situation, the economy, the government, and the people, that people will not be saying all that you guys are saying. It's unfortunate that you people are telling me an APC. If you see where I criticized the APC in December 2017 in London, it was
I'm gonna take it away from you
street. Can remember? If you listen to that interview, you know that I'm not an APC apologist. That's what
okay.
You
Doctor,
see,
I'm gonna take it away from you quickly. Doctor, I'm gonna take it away from
why
you
we are
quickly.
trying to say that Nigeria is not working, this is not working, I don't think it is very good. We want improvement. You said that PC is claiming, claiming whatever.
Doctor, I'm gonna take it away
for
from you for
some of the achievements. We are not talking of claiming.
Okay, guys, what I want you to do right now is this, right? This program, I'm the moderator of this program. We need to make sure we do it in an ordinary way. Justin, you haven't missed a lot, yeah? If you stay with us more, you're gonna find out what is actually going on there. Guys, we're not hitting the nail on the head enough. We are not hitting the nail on the head well enough. Everybody online, we want to make sure that what we're saying here goes a longer way. We still have about an hour to finish. Please take it as a point of duty. Invite your people. Share the program. Share. If everybody else share the program and invite people, I'm sure we will hit about 2,000 people watching. It's not only when we're talking rubbish that people need to watch. People need to watch when we're talking sense, something that will make our country better. And again, this is the secret. I want to let you guys in on this one. Please like the page. Like the page so that you can know when something like this is happening. Normally it happens 8 o'clock every day anyway. And join one of our Facebook page. We started some new programs. Heritage birthday greetings. This is where we say happy birthday. We choose people at random. We pick one person, one of our people, one of the people on our page, one of the people on our profile page as well. We pick them at random every day. And we have about half an hour program for them. And where we actually wish them a very happy birthday. I'm going to let you into a quick surprise, a very quick surprise, because we had one earlier on today and it was fantastic. Maybe, just maybe, I might let you in on this one quickly for the young lady actress we have today so that we can wish her a very happy birthday with me. I'm going to tell you or show you quickly what we did for her here. So if you like the page, if you share it, this might be coming your way. Have a look at it.
Blimey, mate! I understand it's your birthday again. Can't believe it. Well, from Captain...
Okay, that is it, yeah? The more we share it, these people will get to hear what we're talking about. They can get to hear and see what we're talking about. And you know, when we keep saying it, it will get to them shortly. It won't take long before it gets to them. Let's give it to Frank Bill. No, not Frank Billow's game. Come on, blind me, my mate. Let's give it to Olayomi Kweki because the comments are flying. We have 503 unread messages now. Come on, Olayomi Kweki.
Well, let's be clear on the fast rolling. We have Brown. Nigeria is gone. Talk about restoration of Biafra nation. We also have, Chukuma. I would like to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on this program. That is, I think you might want to take a quick note of heritage. Someone is saying I would like to see Mazi Nnamdi on this program.
Because we don't mind having him. Yeah, if you link us, give us the right link, we will bring him in.
Ade Omoluabi, the doctor has been given tip. That is why he has been economical with the truth. I think you have one supporter there, Doctor Jimo Akim. The verse for him gone. Well, his verse for among the also just come on now. Look, I think we have a lot of people that wants Frank Bello to go. Yes, Bello. A lot of people are helping for Frank Bello. On the other track, I think somebody was asking where the normal, ambulance. I think that was based on the last picture that you showed us. As someone is asking, what are they? I'm not sure where I'm more. What are they saying about the president's speech, and also looking at the how the country has been in the last 60 years. Also, Dominic says, why can't you guys just agree that Mazi Kanu is the right in everything he's been saying? Zoo. So, what he means by that, I think the message quite read out as well. Bros, nothing will make the country work better. The Okechukwu saying, let's hope something will make it work better, because we are, the next generation. And let me just chip this in. I was on the phone line with Nigeria today, just almost about 8 o'clock, and to my family at home, and I was hearing the kids' noise. They're about two little ones, and I said, if we're not doing anything now, during the conversation, the light went out, and I said the children and be thinking this is a normal thing. And I can remember we were the same thing. When the light goes off, we have to go and take the lantern. Some of us that have a little bit of lantern that doesn't have access to generator, and we thought it was normal until we were all growing up and not have a proper electric. And I said in the next 10 years, those children, the 2 will be 12, the 5 will be 15, and the one that is even 1 year old will be almost about 11 years old. That means they will now come up to say, how come we've not done anything for them to see a better country, just like we are sitting here arguing? Maybe what our argument should be is, what are the solutions that we must continue to profile? If not, those children, like all the children across Nigeria and Africa, will come and sit down and watch this broadcast and look at the date and the time and say, what are all this discussion? This discussion took a long time, and these are the discussion that's been taking place for decades. I'm in my 40s. We have some of us there that are in their 50s, and we have a lot of people that are watching us that are more than 20. But I'm talking about these young Nigerians that were yesterday, when there was a light, the light went out, and they will come back after 10 years and say, this should not be the normal thing. So I think the right question we should be asking ourselves is, what implementation should we be putting in? There's a lot of agitation out there. There's a lot of people who have different views about what Nigeria should be and how Nigeria should be. But I'm sure maybe this talking needs to wind down a little bit, and we become more active in how to solve some of the challenges that we are facing at the moment. I will go back now to you again in the studio.
Very much, Alayomi Koike. That's very good. Somebody passed me a message and want me to pass this message on, and I'm going to pass this message here down. Yeah. Two things is I'm going to divide the question into about three sections. One for Doctor, and then one for Frank, and one for Ty. Right. The first one for Doctor. Doctor, who is Nasoro?
Yes. Sorry?
Who is in Asoro? Don't beat around the bush. Just tell us who is in Asoro.
Muhammadu Buhari, the man we elected in 2019.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Let's go to Frank Bello. Frank, you said, and I quote, that the person in Aso Rock has actually been using this rubber mask. Yeah.
Yes.
Why did Nigeria vote for him again?
Now,
straight answer.
They presented you with a fake Muhammadu Buhari and a Muhammadu Buhari that does not even know all his past activities on with the same Muhammadu Buhari in 2015. That Muhammadu Buhari in 2019 was not the same Muhammadu Buhari in 2015.
Thank you.
And
I'm gonna take it away from you quickly. I'm gonna go to Fatai Okurubido, and if you cannot answer this one, then I will stop you people from talking about Western Aso Rock, right? Fatai Okurubido, this one is for you. Straight answer. And Nigerians gullible?
Yes, we are. By every indication, even by the way we look at the reality on, and yet we still defend it.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to create a poll now quickly online. I want people to vote on this one. I want people to vote that whether Nigerians are gullible to have this Muhammad Buhari in Aso Rock, or they are not gullible to have this Muhammad Buhari in Aso Rock. It's true. The Muhammad Buhari, if they're gullible, it means they have a fake Muhammadu. If they're not gullible, it means they have the right Muhammadu Buhari in Aso Rock. And I will try and give the answer if I can before the end of the show. And this is what we're going to turn this one to a poll every day, every evening. And that might start vindicating some people. It might vindicate Doctor, and it might vindicate Fatai, or it might vindicate. I think Fatai and Frank Bello are in the same boat, and I think maybe probably me and Doctor are in a similar boat, standing close to one another. Okay, before we run out of time, I don't know what I should do. Frank.
Yes.
I think Fatai might. No, Frank. Yesterday's broadcast, you said it was a fake. Yes? Technically.
Yes.
I'm technically minded person as well. Technically, analyze it, and if you fail it, I will point to where you fail it. Analyze it to us why it was with proof. With real proof. I'll put the two pictures on the screen again, and you can go for it. Yeah? Because we want you to
yes, please do.
And again, I want to emphasize this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether the recording, the broadcast yesterday was recorded or live. What matters is who is giving that broadcast, what the broadcast contain, and where. So discredit that the broadcast was not done in Nassau Rock. That is your point. You understand? Because I buy one idea, and the idea I bought is that I found out from yesterday and today that the people in Nigeria, both FFK and Doctor, who are probably, FFK said to me point blank, is not an APC man. A lot of people said the same thing, that he's not an APC man and he's not a fan of President Muhammad Buhari, but he's still commending for trying to right their wrongs, from trying to rewrite their wrongs to right.
Maybe Femi Fani-Kayode is broke.
Okay, now don't talk about Femi. Defend this thing I've just put to you.
Yes, I'm still waiting for the picture to be posted.
Okay, I'll put it up there straight now. Okay.
And I'll analyze the picture.
Yeah. Okay, here's the picture.
Now, let me take the picture on the right of my screen. Yeah. And I believe that picture is equally on the right of the screen of anybody who is watching it.
Yes, it is.
Now,
it is, because this is heritage. We don't write wrong. We don't write in the wrong.
Right. Now, if you look at the picture on the right, now look at the seat that the president is sitting. You can see that is the authentic president, and behind that seat, he's got the federal coat of arms in there. Now, if you look at the drop box, you can see the federal coat of arms clearly hanging directly between a distance between his head and the chair. You can measure that distance accurately. And that distance between his head and the federal coat of arms indicated that that is your responsibility, Mr. President, because the entire country, the entire population of that country lies on your head and on your two shoulders. Now look at the two there, the two lines in there. You can see those two lines are straight and they are upright in perpendicular, and the eagle at the top, look at the distance between the head of the eagle and the line on the right and on the left. The head of the eagle is right at the center. Now, let's go up to the Armed Forces flag. If you look at the Armed Forces flag, you will see a green, white, blue, and red. Okay? Now, look at the color of that red as opposed to the red on the left. It is not the same. Now, let's go on to the left picture. Look at the president's broadcast yesterday. If you look at that broadcast on the left, at the picture on the left, you will discover that you've got three upright lines and you've got the coat of arms in between. That three lines, maybe they want to explain to us the three lines. Maybe they want to explain. Look at the seat. That is not the correct seat of the president that the president ought to sit. That is a fake seat, and that seat is far more higher than the original seat they've got in the drop box. So where have they actually made up this makeshift presidential drop box on the left that they've presented to Nigeria on a fraud, and as opposed to the original Dropbox. See, they are fooling Nigerians, and they continue to fool Nigerians, and they think they can fool Nigerians. Now, look at the mahogany tree as well. If you look at the mahogany tree in the original Dropbox, it is far more lighter, and you can see that the mahogany tree is much more flatter and much more spread. Some people might argue and then say it is the lighting, but in such a situation whereby the president, you're dealing with the president, and the president is having to actually deal with the rest of the world, and they're transmitting or making a broadcast to the entire nation, the lighting condition in that environment must be consistent, because a professional photographer or a cinematographer will measure the accurate intensity of the light source, that room, to make sure that it meets the quality and the standard they want the camera to. I mean, you are broadcasting from the studio. You've got qualities and standard. It is the same. Now, if you look at the Nigerian flag, don't just think the Nigerian flag is just common green, white, and green. There are color combinations in terms of the pigment that goes into the Nigerian green color. You just don't mix any color. They've got a standard color in the color space to determine the precise color of that flag. So also is the same. So how come that the presidential team on media are unable to measure accurately the intensity of the light source that will produce the desired image quality onto the lens of the camera, so that it is consistent? Now, let me take your mind back to number 10 Downing Street. If you look at the broadcast from number 10 Downing Street, or from the White House, or from any other president, even China and many of them, the intensity of the light source is always constant. Whether it is today, whether it is tomorrow or next tomorrow, the same quality of the picture you will get is the same quality you will get any time of the day, night. I think this buttresses your argument. And then you look at the federal coat of arms as well. I don't have to talk or probably elaborate more on that. If you go back into the two previous podcast, the previous broadcast, you will see that the color of the armed forces flag is not the same as the one they've displayed here yesterday. Over to you in the studio.
Clue as to what happened, where, and when. Fatai, have a look at this one quick. No, let's give it to this one. Doctor might be in the best position to judge. Doctor, this one here, the date on the broadcast yesterday reached 25th of April. Will you tell us what people have gone wrong there? Hello, Doctor?
Yes, I want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Did you get this picture with your camera, or you copied it from a blog site?
No, this picture was taken from the screen. They sent it to me earlier on, and I actually went.
Fine. You see, the reason why I'm asking this question is this. If you look at that date, it says 25th, Monday, 25th April. Yesterday is Monday when the broadcast was there, but yesterday was not 25th.
Yeah.
So what can you decipher from that?
That's a big mistake.
No, who is making the mistake? It is the people who are doing this Photoshop work. That is just what I want to point out. I'm not going to talk more than that.
Okay.
I talked of the Farouk, the proposed, Farouk, the Minister of Humanitarian and Disaster Management, for the purported marriage to Buhari, and Frank Bello said it was a real proposed marriage, but they call it off because he jailed public furor. So I don't want to go into all that. Let us look at it. 25th April is not Monday. It is the people who did this Photoshop work. You see, I live in this country, and I know there are people who are eating from this. But you guys, I don't
Doctor,
know. There are people who are eating from this. And you guys just get these things, analyze them, do your content analysis and so on. But it's well. If I talk more, you say my APC apologies. But like I said, if I am not programmed today, I do not think this program will be this rich, because everybody here
We
is
love you.
hitting
We love you, sir.
Nigeria and
We
hitting
really
the
love you.
government.
Doctor, we love you and we'll bring you back again and again and again and again. We love you because you put a lot of spice into this program today. If you're not here today, the program would be boring. Oba Gold said something. Let's see. You are right, sir. Yes. Yeah, somebody said you are right. Or maybe he's saying someone else is right. Domestic Dominic Akin, see, respect is end. So many people was asking for Nnamdi Kanu, which is not a problem. We'll try and see if we can source him and bring him. The good thing is that it doesn't matter where he is on the surface of the earth, we can actually bring them in easily. Guys, I've enjoyed myself today. What about you? Have you enjoyed yourself?
I have.
Yes,
I have had.
yes, I have. It's been wonderful listening to Fatai and Frank Bella. This is the second time I'm meeting Frank Bella, and I'm meeting for the first time. Very aggressive, very vibrant. I like this kind of debates.
If he takes the job of the spokesman for the, if he takes the job of Lai Mohammed, it will be
So,
the truth.
Fatai, I hope tomorrow you're not going to call me a clone of Lai Mohammed.
Like you don't look alike. So I won't say I clone of him because you don't look alike at all.
Yeah, but
Those
if I put on the mask, I will be like him.
Wow.
those
Can I
who
tell you
did
something?
the
Can I tell you
those
something?
who did the Buhari mask
Allow
they did better.
do this, yeah? Do the honor and announce Femi Obalolas is just joining us. He's just joining. I don't know why he's so late in joining us. Can you find it? Alayomikeki, can you find Femi's comment, yeah?
Not yet.
Okay, should
I'll
I
look
go
for
for it
it.
then, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah,
You know what?
I'm trying to make a point which you cut me off just
Okay,
now.
go ahead. Why would
Okay. Now, I appreciate what the doctor said about the issue of people trying to put Photoshop. Now, one thing I want the doctor to understand is this. That recording could have taken place on the 25th. And the editing and adjusting and all these sort of things to make everything look real might have taken 2 or 3 days before it was actually broadcast yesterday. So to say that it's Photoshop and it's this and that, I think you're still doing the job of.
You see,
I think doing the job of Lai
you're still
Mohammed.
missing the point. No, you're missing the point. I am pointing out that Monday, yesterday, is not 25th of April. You know, that thing is
Okay.
saying 25th, Monday, 25th of April. That's the point I'm making. Monday is not 25th, was not 25th of April. You need to get my point.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, and it still goes back to everything.
Can I say this one quickly?
But I
Everything
said
still
it
goes
that
back
it was
to-
pre-recorded.
Yomi, go ahead.
Yeah, that, I mean, if it was a live broadcast, we will not be sitting here and be arguing on the image,
Yes,
what the
yes,
view looks
exactly.
like, and that has been the problem. I mean, until the media team behind the president. Look, the president can even come out and do a mistake. We don't care. What we want to see him, we want to see him come live and read the same script that he's got in his hand. But when it becomes where there's been all these information in the public domain,
Incapacitated.
whether it's the real president or not, we should not even have that situation where we are discussing if our president is real or not. I mean, we should, how did we get here? How did we get to where we are discussing a sitting president, whether it's an imposter or not? It's because they've given the room for that. They've given the room for that. This should not be happening. I mean, in
I agree with
2020,
you.
we are. I mean, are we really even thinking about what we are discussing when the next generation will be asking questions? That a sitting president of the most populous nation in the world is either an imposter or not. And now we have the president is going to address us, but the address is not live. They should let us know it's not live. It's a pre-recorded address. So this is where we are having this kind of conversation. The conversation should not even be, whether the president is real or not. We should be discussing other issues. But we are still in 2020. Even though the president himself came out, I think about few years back to say, "Well, I'm the real Buhari." I mean, how did we get to this, particular day and time? And I want us to note this down again, because we're all gonna die, and one person is gonna listen to this and want to know why we are not even asking ourselves, how did we get to where we are, where a sitting president is now being looked at as an imposter? If the president is going to address us, let it address us live. We don't care whether he's going to do a mistake or not. We are not interested in that. We should now to know whether the president is addressing us as a live broadcast. If it's a recorded broadcast, they should tell us. But this is where we are finding it not to say it the way it is. How did we? I mean, it's like me saying that is the imposter of Boris Johnson that addressed us on Monday. The British citizen will come to this house and be protesting in front of my house every day. If I come out now and say that Boris Johnson, that is an imposter, do you know what is going to happen? They're going to shut down the system working here. And we are all sitting here and discussing about one man that has been there. He's not as perfect, whether it's good or not. That is not the issue. We should not even be discussing that the president of a Federal Republic of Nigeria is not real or real. The media team should have said, this is going to be a pre-recorded. That means at the back of our mind, we know it's not live. 28th of April 2020. The time is exactly 22:42 p.m. Because we're all going to die, and somebody's going to listen to this and say, you all are just a joker.
Okay.
I go back to you in the studio.
Someone is saying to me, I need to tell doctor how displeased people are with him online and how displeased they are with me as well, because I've been siding doctor. Unfortunately, I've not been siding doctor. I just need to balance things. And if I tell him anything now, you know what's going to happen? He won't go back and read the comment. But if I don't tell him now, he will go back and read the comment. If I don't tell Frank Bello now, he won't go back and he won't. If I tell Frank Bello as well, he won't go back and read the comment. But it's a good thing I won't tell you what they're saying, so that everybody.
No, I'm reading the comments. I'm reading the comments in front of my screen.
Okay, what I'm going to do is that, right? I probably want to expand the screen next time, so I might be looking at having about 10 people online instead of 5 from sometimes next week. The good thing is that the more people we can have, the more merriment is going to be. And as long as you have good internet, no matter where you are, Unamdi Kenneth, we bring him on. We take 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 him on easily. Bring whoever. Yes, if you don't mind. I don't know where these people are coming from. How can we have 101 likes and reactions,
15 minutes.
and we have maybe about 2,000 comments already? That's not right. 107 shares. 107 shares only? That's not good. And we have 192. Let's kick it to 250 and then we go. As soon as we reach 250, we're gonna finish. So if you want us to go, right, you better keep inviting and sharing. Okay. For time, Ogonibido, what is the best way to fix it? Okay, we've been complaining and complaining and complaining. It's not right, it's not right, it's not right, it's not good, it's not good. What do you think is the best way to fix it?
I think I have to be factual with you. Now is outdated. We have to move forward. And the best way forward is just to make sure that the country gets broken into 3 different regions. If others want to break out, I don't know. But I'm not trying to advocate war or trying to, that Nigeria should go. But we cannot continue like this, having gone through this in the past 60 years. Where is Nigeria going to be in the next 60 years? I told you earlier on that I was going through a clip today, which is presenting Nigeria as the most influential in America, most well educated among all, both the locals and all the visitors. You can understand, if Nigeria is rated by a top American journalist as as most influential and most educated, and then our background back home is rotten, It got to that something is happening. A major conspiracy is in Nigeria, whereby nobody wants Nigeria as the most populous, as the most influential black world in the world to rise up. I mean, if for any reason, maybe for economic fear of the big world, and now I can deduce that the issue of electricity is a sort of being used as a weapon of mass destruction. Tell me that a nation that is one of the highest oil producing country in the entire world is one upping the sort of one of the poverty that we are one upping today. So the best thing is, let us just break it up into three regions: the north, the east, and the west, and then let everybody develop their own region.
I'm gonna add one thing to it quickly as well because I need to appreciate people. Uh, the following people, if you're based in Nigeria and you've been with us for some time today, will you please inbox me? I think I have a gift for you. If you're based in Nigeria and you're watching from Nigeria all this time, I think I need to reward you. Jocelyn, if you are watching from Nigeria, you need to let us know. We need to get something across to you. Maybe Olayomi Koiki should decide he's been watching for so long. Because the comments are running away, especially people watching. Okay, I think I've seen. No, that's another one. Femi Babalola, the must do first is to agree to a massive recalibration of our mindset. Every other things will follow. Okay, are you saying the way Bill Gates is saying he wants to recalibrate people? Maybe that is the way we think, because I don't know how they can recalibrate people's mindset in Nigeria now. It's so bent. It's so bent. Our mindset is so bent. I don't know who can ever recalibrate it. Doctor,
It will be an
can someone
Yes,
take fraud away from Nigerians in Nigeria?
yes. Can someone take fraud away, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I was going to say something.
Okay.
As a follow-up to what Fatai has just said,
Yeah.
he was advocating breaking Nigeria into three regions, but I'm advocating for restructuring of Nigeria.
Mm.
If you restructure Nigeria today, corruption will die naturally. Do you know why? The reason why we have so much corruption and so much fraud in Nigeria today is because of the system of government we are running. On oil.
Yeah.
And all the oil money that we make, everything goes into a pool, to a pot where there is a formula called revenue allocation formula, which is used in sharing this. And because everything is in one pot there, everybody wants to grab. The idea is that, look, if I do not grab and make my own now, tomorrow it may not be there. Now, the moment we restructure Nigeria, we go back to true federalism, where every state will be forced to go and look at their backyard. If you restructure Nigeria, the militants in Niger Delta will die naturally, because Niger Delta militants will just realize that, look, nobody is coming to share their oil proceeds again. The man from Bauchi will go and begin to mine your 235. Those people in Kogi and Nasarawa,
We lost Doctor
all the
completely.
mineral deposits they have in Kogi and Nasarawa, they go and begin to mine them and begin to make money. The man in Ebonyi who has a lot of gypsum will depend on his gypsum. Those in Sokoto will depend.
I think people are playing games with doctors' internet from Nigeria. His internet is failing us now. So I'm going to go to Frank Bello. Frank, what do you think? Do you think we will ever have a Nigeria without fraud? Over to you.
Well, Pastor Ade, to be honest with you, I have always been an advocate of returning back to its old formation of Western region, Eastern region, and Northern region. Let each. Biafra is a country. Oduduwa is another country. Arewa is another country. Nigerians are not speaking the truth to themselves. to tell themselves that they are living in a three nation. There are three different countries, same language. We don't have the same religion. We don't wear the same clothes. We don't eat the same food. Fine, perhaps in southern Nigeria, there is that cross tribal influence that integrates West together, but they're two separate countries. We need to learn this. Not until when we come to realize the fact that Nigeria is a three nation molded up into one, that is the day that peace will reign. Now, let me break it down. The North, they refuse to go because, one, they want that Atlantic Ocean. The Fulanis are not interested in any other parts of the country in the Southern Protectorate. They are not interested in Biafra land. They are not interested in Port Harcourt or Rivers State to have their port there. They are only interested in Lagos. The Fulanis wants to claim Lagos as their own territory, but the people of the Yoruba tribe are not sincere to themselves. They are, how will I put it? Their Jaga bandit leaders are not truthful to themselves. They are all sellout. That's why you've got Obas marooning themselves as emirs being turbaned in Yoruba land. This must stop because Yorubas need to speak with one voice. I don't believe in that contraption called Nigeria. I don't want to be a Nigerian. I want to be addressed as an Ududua man, an Ududua Republic. I want Ududua Republic realized. I'm not interested in Nigeria. Nigeria is not working. Let them break up that country and let each region develop itself. Let each region go at its own pace. Let Hausa Fulani stay on their own in the north. Let us go our separate ways. 60 years of misery. Enough is enough. We don't want an inconvenience marriage to kill Oduduwa Republic or to kill Biafra Republic any further. Let's break it up. Over to you in the studio.
I'm going to play this one over to you. But before I play that, I want to say something. If anybody wants to replace Doctor quickly, can you WhatsApp me on 0734 123 4560. If anybody wants to replace
they've shut down Doctor because I'm online.
Yeah, because you guys are so wicked, man. You're so wicked. You shut my doctor down, yeah? And the good thing about him is that he's the first one who was on time today. Every one of you were late because of other engagements. So if you can help me out, anybody that wants to replace Doctor on tonight's program, please WhatsApp me, WhatsApp only, 0+44 7.
Maybe Jocelyn Noah wants to make appearance.
Justin Noah, do you want to come? Let them say by their own word of mouth, yeah?
Maybe she wants to come. She's very tough.
4560 0734 123 4560. If you want to replace Doctor, and I will facilitate that. Okay, let's watch this one quickly.
That this is the problem. This constitution can never give us progress. This constitution can never give us peace. This constitution can never give us unity. And unfortunately, most of us in this National Assembly, we don't have the spine to face what we need to give this republic to have peace and progress. What do I mean? This constitution has 68 items. 68 on the exclusive list. This constitution has only 12 on the concurrent list. And those 12 are written so nebulously, so fraudulently, that you know that the intention is to even undermine those concurrent lists. The formal name of this republic is Federal Republic of Nigeria. Unfortunately, we don't run a federalist system in Nigeria. Otherwise, what is so unique about all those things that are in the exclusive list? In this chamber, we try to federalize the police system. In this chamber, we failed. Every crime is local, and the solution to every crime is local. The earlier that senators in Nigeria summon the courage to say, we should not continue to deceive ourselves.
It was full. That was so full. That was very, very full. I'm going to excuse Olayomi Kweki because he's starting another program. I really appreciate your presence on the show today, and I hope to see you tomorrow sometimes. Thank you very much, Olayomi Kweki. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye. We're back within ourselves now. I'm looking for people to replace two people now. My WhatsApp was down before, but luckily it's back online now. So, okay, I've got someone who wants to do that. I'm going to send him a code now. You know what to do straight away when you get in. Just please do the needy landscape recording only. Landscape recording. Put your system to landscape. Make sure it's not portrait. Landscape only, please. And you will be with us straight away in the studio. That's one spot gone. One more spot remaining because I need to fill the two spots now. So one more spot remaining now, please. Guys, to the needy, send me your number quickly and I'll send you the okay. I think Sheung Pupoli might be coming in as well. I'm gonna try and bring him in. Sheung, I believe you're still with me. So I'm gonna send you the I'm going to send you the link now as well. Oh, I'm not sure if that went. That didn't go through. Okay, I'm gonna do one more, and I'm gonna fix my WhatsApp is breaking. It's breaking badly. It's not coping with the amount of information coming into it. But let me just fix it that one quickly. What I'll do quickly, I'll give it to Fatai Okurubido to start talking, and during the time he's talking, then I will fix all other things that need to be fixed. Fatai Okurubido, what you say?
Yeah, thank you very much, moderator. The real ground is this: Nigeria is a failed state, and let us think about all the resources. I mean, human resources that we have in South Nigeria. Imagine today if we have a Nigeria that has enormous resources as as in the entire country I'm referring to, having the resources that we have as all rounder, that is the north, the east, and the west. So if we are able to sit on the table to do our planning, there will be no any feeling of inferiority complex that we want to actually enslave others, because being given military power, they are thinking that for that alone they can try and bully and do other regions. That shouldn't be. We have to rule Nigeria on equal basis, on merits, not on sheer domination of a part of the nation over the others. We can't all be fools. We have a nation that we want to call our own the future. Recently, we had this pandemic that is happening, shutting down so many nations. Suppose today, Britain rises up and say, okay, we just want to our country, let all Nigerians go back to Nigeria. Where do we move to? This is the reason why we have to consider the fact that for us to be arguing at night that we don't want Nigeria to continue, it is not because we hate Nigeria, but because there is injustice, there is unfairness, there is no rule of law, there is domination, there is enslavement. These are the key words of what we are going through today in Nigeria. So if we can restructure, I know that that word is even already late now, because nothing can ever be structured in Nigeria again that will work out at all. Because those who have been dictating our destiny since 1960, they are going to make sure that the structure they are going to do is going to put us in another problem. Imagine the way Ilori is being controlled by the North today, a country that should be having a Yoruba Oba having a Northern Emma. Imagine what they are now bringing to Iwo, trying to turban the only one of Iwo is gradual seizure of Yoruba land. This has to be resisted. Our leaders should summon the courage to tell the authority, please, we want Udua Republic. Because let me sensitize my people, whether we like it or not, if we agitate for Yoruba nation now, there is going to be resistance because they don't want to leave the ocean.
Yeah, Mr. Gunibido, Mr. Gunibido, Mr. Gunibido, Mr. Gunibido,
Yes.
Mr. Gunibido. Do you know why?
I'm listening.
Do you know why those people don't want? Do you know why they don't want to leave?
I know two factors.
They are scared. These people, they don't want to leave because the money they've been dishing out, the money they've been looting, the money in Aisha Buhari's account, the money in Dame Patience Jonathan's account, the money with Dinziani, the money in Zara Buhari's account are all stolen money from the South. When we part, how will they get that money? I just made an emphasis on the total number of amount of money that country made in 4 years. In 4 years, 2001 to 2005. Can you imagine? In 4 years, 272 billion. Not 1 billion, 1 billion in 272 places, and then 1 million in 272 places. So 200 billion, 272 billion, $272 million in 4 years for selling your crude oil at a modest price of $80 a barrel. And the country, what have they done with that money? What hospital have they built? Now they were showing a decapitated van, a medical van in northern Nigeria, in Kano, that will transport patients with infectious diseases to hospital. God on earth, how on earth would somebody who is sick be in this van and you expect that person to be alive, considering the fact that this country, within 4 years, they were unable to account for 272 billion, 272 million dollars. Wait, billions, not one, not two, 1 billion in 272 places, and then 1 million, then followed by 1 million in 272 places. Where has this money gone to? These are the questions that Nigerians are not asking, and they keep providing them with this innocent money here in the east or in Cal. Those Damboroba politicians, they had the audacity to order, guess what, Japanese car at exorbitant prices, a car manufacturing industry in your country, manufacturing cars specifically made for Nigerian by Nigerians.
Probably trying to seize Frank Bill's voice as well. I would like to welcome
over to you, Mr.
Femi Babalala into the crew tonight. I would like to welcome Femi Babalala into the crew. Mr. Femi Babalala, I want you to say something to the panel so that they know you are here.
Yeah. Well,
Mr. Femi Babalala.
thank you for your
I think there's a feedback. There's a big feedback.
Nigeria.
There's a big feedback from Mr. Femi Babalala's system. There's a feedback there.
Say what?
I think there might be a feedback with your system somewhere there. Okay, I'm gonna reduce your. Okay, that's it now. Continue.
Hmm.
Continue, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, what I would just say is this, I'm listening to everybody. Good evening, Mr. Fatai, Fandelo, and my regard to everybody there. Let me quickly point two things out. We have the order of the Federation, Nigeria. Some of they are the power who want to manage who's the ex dictator of the Federation. And big problem. When big problem, even if Nigeria divide today, Yoruba will have a people. I've said it before. We have some, the order of the Federation, they are the power brokers of the Federation. The power broker of the Federation orders. You see, Tulumbu, the rights that they call themselves the leader of Yoruba today, leader of the blah blah, they are working for the orders. They are 80 number, one is gone, left with one. So how are we going to get rid of the 7 that remain? We have big problem. The big problem. Because
Mr. Balola, yeah.
I'm trying to analyze something, like country like Nigeria, the only solution is the Yoruba have to think very well. If not so, we can't win the battle. Let me tell you the truth, nothing but the truth tonight. The Fulani Awusa want Lagos by force, and they are there already. They are there already.
You see?
They are there already. And then I will still say tonight to you, all the commanders of the Boko Haram, they live in Lagos. What are we talking about?
You see?
They live in our land.
You see?
So how are we going to get rid of these people? We are in big mess.
Truly, yeah.
We need a collective idea that will not expose to anybody. Well, these people, they are not so smart like Yoruba. I'm proud that I'm a Yoruba man. We still have a good Nigeria. We still have a good Yoruba. We have some of them, in diaspora, they don't even want to they don't even want to be part of Nigeria again. Some of them have dropped their passports. Some of them, they want to, they don't want anything to do with Nigeria again or Yoruba, because of the past experience, The order of the Federation, they are there, 2-4. Before you can see that maybe they are fighting. They are not fighting. They meet themselves regularly. They are just making guests of Nigerians. They're just making guests of Nigerians. It's only God that will help us. We are in one chance already.
Yes, Mr. Babala, I can understand. Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. Honestly, as you said earlier on, as you pointed out, we are in a big mess because
Mr.
the Yoruba land now is filled up with lots and lots of. They will load them in a big trailer, loading that trailer with motorcycles to come and do Okada in Lagos, and underneath that trailer are K-47 guns. So when you see any of them sleeping at night after their Okada ride, making money in Lagos, right under their bed is AK-47. And if tomorrow the uprising starts, tell you there's going to be blood flowing in Lagos. We saw arrested, was it in Ekiti State? But I'm trying to, pretending as if all they were carrying motorcycle, and was it an Amoteku member or the Abekoyans that arrested them, and they underneath the trailer were laid hundreds of guns of AK-47. How many more had gone without being detected? So this is the Babala said we are in a real mess, and only love we have for others that make us to be so hospitable, that has made us to be so generous, and we so loving as a tribe, that might be what will win the war for us, because the conscience, our audience will win it for, because we don't know how to go by this, because this is a region that's been completely encircled. We have been completely encircled in Yoruba land, and this is the reality. Only wisdom and the unity of Yorubas can save us. Otherwise, if we are not careful, extermination of the race is in the offing. And this is a tribe, one of the most influential tribes in the entire world. And when we were talking about Nigeria, the glory of Nigeria does not rest only in Nigeria alone. We have big community of Nigeria, even those that are not even of current generation, not those who have traveled out of Nigeria for economic purposes, but entrenched in so many big world of the world. In Brazil, in Venezuela, in Haiti, all these places are full of Yoruba people, indigenous in those countries. Recently, I mean, a few months ago, we had Brazil indigenizing Yoruba language as their national language in Brazil. Now, the source is smelly. If something happens to Yoruba in Nigeria today, the entire Yoruba race, the entire world are going to be in trouble. So we have to pre-plan. How are we going to handle Yoruba future? Because this entrapment has failed. We cannot continue like this. Otherwise, we are in trouble. So whether we fight for our freedom and we crave for it today or we don't, we are still going to face reprisals. And if we wait for them to overrun us, we are going to face reprisals. Well, why can't we just start to talk now? Okay. So that the entire world will know that we need this.
Let's try and welcome this gentleman who has just joined us. Oba Gold. Will you turn your phone sideways? Landscape for me, please. Turn your phone to landscape. Turn your phone to landscape. Oba Gold. Turn your phone to landscape.
Okay.
Yeah. Turn your phone.
It's okay now?
No, turn the phone on the side so that the picture can look like every other person's pictures.
Okay, you can get me now.
At the moment, yeah, we can get you. Your phone is standing up. We don't want it standing up. Turn it sideways. Try and rotate your phone. Let your phone be like this instead of like this. At the moment,
Okay.
Just let it. That's it. It's done. Yeah, it's done. Fantastic. Thanks.
I think it's better now.
Yeah, it's better now. Thank you for joining us. Where are you from? Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm calling from Paris.
Yeah, so you are based in Paris, and the other man is based in Germany as well.
Yeah.
I'm just going to introduce you to the guest on the show. I have myself. My name is Adi Thomas. We have Femi Babalola, who is based in Germany, and we have Frank Bello and Fatai. We have 3F on the show today. FFF. So there's only me and you that we have a different name. So hello everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Another thing you can do for me is actually, Mr. Babalola, I think there's a system talking where you are, and Oba Gold as well. There's a system talking about where you are. I'm going to give it to Oba quickly. Oba, what do you think of the broadcast yesterday?
Yeah, the broadcast yesterday is something every reasonable Nigerian must rise up and ask question, because it's because of Nigeria has been keeping quiet for a very long time, and that is why we get into this mess at this point in time. And if Nigeria had been neglecting everything that's going on in Nigeria, and if they continue to shut their mouth up, continue to sideline the truth, this I think this pending doom will swallow everybody. The time has come Nigeria will start to ask questions, because yesterday broadcast, it is not a live broadcast. Everybody knows that. And sometimes I'm worried about Nigerians who always defend this government. They are the same government from day one, and they are the same government up to today. What Mr. Bello had just said, his analysis, I concur with him, because he really put it the record straight. And we must start to be very straight in order to save life. The other brother there that said that the solution to Nigeria, to me, I think to divide that country will be better, because someone who has not passed secondary school, who have never passed even primary school SAT, cannot rule a population of 200 million plus. It is not possible. And when you see a man like a man that just left this, the man that I just replaced now, called Doctor, I can't say because of maybe his position or his master who he's trying to defend, maybe because of token. But we are not here to discuss about what you gain from government. We are talking about to save the life of this population. Nigeria is not working. And this impostor called himself Muhammad Buhari, I think if Nigeria don't rise up to ask a very vital question, something more bigger than can come tomorrow. Nigeria is in a very big mess. And if we are not talking since 90s, this moment everybody must rise up in unison and ask a reasonable question to save life, because we have never seen Nigeria this way before. This is the first time we see ourselves in this mess, because I must assure you that we are really in almighty mess. That is truth. So I'm at the same time, before I will put my ears to audience, I appreciate Bello. Mr. Bello, you have done a very great work. And the admin, the person, the Heritage Multimedia too, I appreciate your concern, because I think you have the population in mind. Thank you for speaking up. Thank you for creating this place for us to exercise the feeling and teach people, because those people that are trapped in Nigeria, they are not seeing why I can be able to make this call today, because I have a good data. People down there don't have data. Maybe in 2 minutes, their data, even 1,000 data will run down.
Like doctor's data run out, or you people kill doctor's data.
Exactly, because no amount of data they can put in order to listen this this gospel, because it is getting out of hand. I'm sorry for Nigerians who insist that Nigeria will remain. Nigeria has never been won before, but I must put the record to you very, very strong truth. The people holding this Nigeria down today is my Yoruba brothers, my Yoruba people. Any day Yorubas rise up, any day Yorubas rise up in unison, I think something different will happen. Maybe the day we cease to exist, or something must come to table. Yorubas has all it takes to bring this country to table. But if they continue to defend one Nigeria, if they continue to look at Nigeria will work, Nigeria will never work. The Biafran extraction, they have never have Nigeria in mind for one day. And you can't force someone in this forceful marriage. It can never work. Yorubas have been, everybody in that country is not happy. Even the Yorubas are not even enjoying it. When we talk about Yorubas, I'm not saying it to the people who are suffering like every one of us. I'm saying it to the people, the ruling class, so that any other Yorubas will not say because it's Yoruba tribe. No, there are people that will put the record straight. So, and I'm urging them to rise up. They should rise up because they have people, they have brothers, they have parents. These Fulanis, their target is to meet the Atlantic Ocean. The ocean is where they need, where their cows will have enough water to drink. They have everything. Their eyes is in Yoruba land. And their eyes is in the south. These people has no good place like we the Southerners. Southerners is the real people occupying that space. I don't see why we, the minority, will become the wife. The majority will become the wife, and the majority becomes the husband. I must say it, that this marriage needs to break to save life. If Nigeria continues to exist, enough life will be gone. Thank you very much,
Great.
my brother.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm going to let you go now. That was a very, very big contribution from your side. Let me give you one
That's
more
true.
chance to say your last word, because what I want to do is I want to bring as many people in as possible. Where are you from in Nigeria, sir?
I'm from the southeast of Nigeria.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, sir. Please make sure you keep. I've got your number now. Instead of saying you want to join, I'll be inviting you. And what I will do in the next few episodes, I'm going to bring you in from the beginning, and then we can have more decent conversation. Thank you for educating our people. Please like the channel and invite other people to like it from your platform. I really appreciate you. The more noise we can make, the more people can hear about our predicament. And the more people hear about our predicament, the easier it will be for us to free ourselves. Have your last word on the show, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate and I congratulated you for allowing me to air my view on the situation report.
Thank you, sir.
And I wish to join any other day on this platform.
Please.
We will continue, and I'm encouraging every one of you to keep the fire burning. We have tried the other way. Restructuring cannot work, if I may say. Anybody talking about restructuring, they have tried it many times. It can never work. So that is why I'm saying this. So I'm thanking everybody, both the viewers. May God bless everybody, strengthen everybody, and this page will continue propagating this gospel until we will emancipate our people from this situation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Uncle. Yeah, I really appreciate you for joining us on this program today.
And you too.
Okay, I'm gonna give Mr. Afen Babalola the chance to speak now as well. So, Mr. Afen Babalola, go for it, sir.
Yeah, I agree with some of the things my taste on parade. But one thing I want my brother to understand is one thing is that the situation we find ourselves is a pity. When one chance already, we try to see the diagrams of the country called Nigeria, the southwest border was closed down now, and nothing can enter. There's just like punishment, and the east as well. And if you see very well that in the northern part of Nigeria, from Maradi to Tramasai to Ilila to Agada to Tumba, and you see some area there is free. There's no border there. If you go to the Maduguri areas where Jamina to the very close to the border of the half border there, you will see that the place is free as well. Having said that, when one chance, they are in already, and I can support you. I can give you a one big surprise tonight. Saudi Arabia is behind all this nonsense. I will tell you the truth. Behind all this, I've made my own research, but the only thing I would say is unity. It's only war. The only war we can fight, except there's a unity among us. If there's no unity, we cannot fight war. Come back and say yes, we win. So I just believe that something is going to happen in very soon. I will say it. Something is going to shock Nigeria. Something that is going to shock the government. It's going to happen. They feel already. This is not about maybe the Yoruba or maybe Igbo or this. No, we need unity. And I will tell you something as well. You know, among of the people we want to fight for in Nigeria as well, they are not serious. I will continue to say it. They are not serious. They are not serious. You will tell them good information. You will give them how to be able to go back on your back and just betray you. You know, we should not depend on them. If really we want to get what we want, at least we have a lot of people in diaspora. If you remember, there is a video that I posted. I was live on that video as well, watching the woman, the former United Nations woman, the French colonization in the or the French in Africa. It make a great point
I
there
think we're
that
seriously
we
losing
African
you,
have a
sir. We're seriously losing you because
hello.
there's something interfering in your background behind you. There's something that's
No,
interfering with
no,
what.
I'm alone here. I'm alone here. I'm alone here. I'm
Do
alone
you
here.
have something
So,
talking? Do you
well,
have another Facebook talking?
nah. No, no, no,
Okay,
no, 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 no,
okay.
no, no.
Continue, continue,
Or can I
continue.
log out and come in again?
No, no,
One
no.
minute.
Continue, continue, sir. Continue now for now. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is this, the I can say God or what? How are we going to bail ourselves out of this mess? How are we going to bail ourselves out of this mess? That is what we should be thinking about now. Because we're in mess already. We're in mess already. Where's Buratai?
Hmm.
Where is Buratai?
Good question.
Where is General Buratai? Where is General Buratai? I'm a Barra boy. I'm a Barra boy. I was born in Yabaki, in Lagos, in the Barrack. I know Zaria, I know Jaji, I'm a Barra boy. Let me tell you the truth. Nigeria, let's not keep calling Nigeria again. It's finished. There's no single person in Nassau Rock. I'm sorry for my Yoruba leaders. I'm sorry for them. It's a pity. If they know what is coming for them, by now, it's not too late for them. It's not
If
too
they
late
know
for them
what's
to
coming for
come
them,
and we will wait, we will welcome them. Because, let me tell you the truth, nothing but the truth. The country is not functioning. And then some of the leaders of Yoruba, even in the East, in the Igbo, they are traitor to their own generation. I don't know why. What happened with Black? Is there any mistake somewhere? Can we rectify the mistake to do the right thing at the right time? I think the
can I
time
ask
is
you a
very
question?
close.
Straight question in your straight question. I'm gonna make this one your
Yeah.
last question. Where is Oshibajo?
Well, Oshubajo, I don't know. It may still be there. Or maybe something else has happened because this government, I can't trust them. If you see the setup of this government, they are all Abasha clique.
Hmm.
Or they are all Abasha clique. Baba Kanakin Bibi, Boss Mustafa, Abakiari, Erufai. Even when Tinubu was after MK Abela dead, Nadeko, they fall inside to the Abasha. You can swear, this Abasha and the government rolling. Ghost.
Okay, I'm gonna take it away from you quickly. I'm gonna give it to Frank Bello. Frank, let's know, share what you
Yeah.
have in your paperwork with us, yeah?
No, I think Mr. Femi Babalola did made something, and I think I want to buttress more on that area. Mr. Femi Babalola said something is about to happen to Nigeria, and I think I've got few of those of my followers online in here, and I think I already made it known in a couple of my podcasts in the past to tell them that something equally is about to happen in Nigeria. And that thing that is about to happen in Nigeria, I think I give you an indication. First, could it mean that probably the Third World War will be ignited between America, the United Kingdom, Europe, and China? Is Nigeria going to ignite that world war because is COVID-19 is actually preparing the world superpower towards that end? Now, if that does not happen, are we, because people are actually thinking probably the Third World War is going to happen between maybe somewhere in Israel, and it will be a fight between Israel and Iran, and America will join Israel, and perhaps Russia will team up with China. And can it be the Third World War is going to kick off in Nigeria? Let's look towards that, because China is already preparing that road, and we've seen situations whereby China, many of the African countries, we've seen China taking over many of the British Commonwealth countries, French colonies. Is Britain and France, are they going to open up their eyes to see China coming in and then recolonizing their territory? Because that will truncate the amount of repatriation from the French colonies to France, because up to today the French colonies are still paying France for colonization. Is France going to open up their eyes to China, despite the fact that China, they've given out loans to those colonies? And is China subsequently going to come in and then just take over the British enterprise called Location 9 that I made known? Because everything about that place is 9. Are we going to see that situation and suddenly, boom, it's going to happen? Or are we going to see a situation whereby the Nigerian military, in conjunction with some powerful stakeholders, will perhaps see their loyalists in the military taking fence of their former bosses? And are we going to see that situation whereby loyalists to some particular top echelon of the Nigerian military will just level the whole of Abuja and the State House, Aso Rock Villa? And could that create a friction whereby that will begin the defecation of Nigeria, and Biafra will say, well, since we don't have any other State House, we better might as well go, and the Yorubas, okay, since we don't have it, let us go. Is this going to happen? It's going to be very, very, I'm waiting to see how that card game will be played, and it will be fun. And I hope to see all this puzzle and mystery unravel as we travel that journey. Over to you in the studio.
I quickly want to chip in something there.
Okay, go ahead, yeah.
Remember that but OBJ says that we should pray that Nigeria should not look like Syria. Understand me? OBJ said that we should pray that Nigeria should not look like Syria. The division of the ex-dictator, or the power broker of the ex-dictator of the Federation, are divided already. So having says that, if you calculate it very well, very, very, very well, they think they are smart. They are not smart. And then the COVID-19 that they said is in Nigeria now, the people who die in the northern part of Nigeria are not the real Hausa. They are not the Fulani. They are the Fulanis. Okay, they are the Fulanis. Sorry, they are the Hausas. And then, if we see it very well, the system of the Nigeria Defense military in Nigeria have been divided to about 5 zones now. If really we are really practicing federation, we have only one NDA in Kaduna. Only one NDA in Kaduna. We have Nigeria Artillery Department in Zaria, which is in Jaji, and then Nigeria Air Force Base, they have it in Kaduna as well. Why not in 6 political zone? We are in big mess, big mess. And some of the generals are not even, some of them have separated themselves from this government. Abdul Salam is not more, outspoken, OBJ is not outspoken. All of them, they are not. They don't even want to do anything with this government because they know what is coming. And I pray those those pastors in Nigeria, I swear, those pastors in Nigeria, well, if they know how to call God, I don't think that maybe if they know how to call God, they better start calling it now. Because I'm trying to analyze something for you tonight that the whole world, the whole African is going to be shaken. I will tell you the truth. It's going to shake.
Fantastic.
It's going to shake.
Thank you very much for that. Should we be calling it a day because in my world, people are trooping in more? I thought they were going down. They just decided to troop in more. I really appreciate everyone who has contributed in one way or the other on today's program. It's a big, massive pleasure to have you guys on the show. Okay, you guys online, should we call it a day here now? Your say.
Yeah.
Have your say now. They're the one who's going to call this one. Omobalale Theophil. Thank you very much for that. That's a very good gesture. That's a very good gesture from you guys. Yeah. The poll, I couldn't do the poll today, but I promise you I'm gonna have to start doing the poll from tomorrow so that we know exactly how people are feeling, and then we can now use the poll as a rise up template. While as much as possible, I'm not advocating a complete split up because complete split up might not solve the immediate problem. It is not the government only in Nigeria that is bad. We individuals are bad. And we're not just bad. You can hear Mr. Femi Babalola saying to us now that he's a very bad boy. That's what he says. I didn't put that in his mouth. He said, Frank Bello, you heard him saying, I'm a bad boy. And he won't drag it. I'm a very bad boy. Fatai Okurubido, are you a bad boy too?
Well, I'm not a bad boy. I'm a good boy. But I think what Mr. Babalola
is a man. Come on,
let's what Mr. Babalola is trying to say is that he's a guy that is
an Interpol. He knows so much.
Exactly. He knows people.
Sorry, you know what I asked them online? That should we close? And they all say no. I can't believe this.
We need a live too.
Not. Oh, it's okay. I think I've seen one of my friends, Mr. Emmanuel. I thought he said yes. He said no. I only said yes at the back of it. I thought he said we can go. Okay. But the numbers are going down. 139.
I'm not a bad boy, eh? Okay. I'm not a bad boy, eh? I'm not a bad boy. I'm just trying to say that I'm just trying to say that we are watching from all the way from diaspora all what is going in Nigeria.
And you know a lot.
We are still giving them some chance to repent. It's not by I'm not talking about war in Nigeria. What I'm trying to say is that diplomacy, it can still be on board. But one thing is this, when it happened, well, I pray that this government of Nigeria should not put the life of people in danger. That's what I'm trying to say, because the whole world is watching.
Mr. Babalola, I'm sorry for this. Can I say something to this? I know you guys want Nnamdi Kanu and Frank Bello to team up.
Nnamdi Kanu is alive. Nnamdi Kanu is alive. Nnamdi Kanu is alive.
Yeah, we want him to be alive.
Nnamdi Kanu is alive. It's okay. He's not even in Italy. And Nnamdi Kanu is alive. Nnamdi Kanu is alive.
We want to bring him onto the show. Wow, someone said I'm watching the program live from Indonesia, Jakarta.
No problem.
Brother, thank you very much. Yeah. So
thank you. What I'm trying to say is that Nnamdi Kanu is alive.
Like that. I'm not saying bad boy.
Normally, Nnamdi Kanu is alive. Yeah. He was supposed to go to Italy, but they canceled the trip, and then they are trying to there's nothing happened to Nnamdi Kanu. It's okay. Where is it now? So if you want to bring him on board, you can bring him on board.
Okay, can you facilitate that?
I think Kemi Omololun lawyer is probably frustrated, maybe from the other side of the room, and she's been paid by the APC to smear Nnamdi Kanu up. I think she's probably broke, and
Will lawyer be so
she's been
stupid
paid to do
to
that.
take money from APC? Will she be so stupid?
But then
I
that
don't
is
think that I
Nigeria
don't think
for you.
that Kemi will do that.
I don't think she
I
will.
don't think that he collect money from APC. I don't think that he collect money from APC. What really happened is that it seems that some of the IPOB guy, it seems that he have a problem with them, and then they have been having some problems since, And I know Kemi Olunloyo always says some part, But saying that Nnamdi Kanu is dead, I don't believe that Nnamdi Kanu is alive because I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. If
Yeah, I know he's alive.
even
Yeah.
Kemi. Yeah, he's alive. Nnamdi Kanu is alive. He's alive. Yeah, Nnamdi
Yeah,
Kanu is
because
alive. There's nothing happening.
I know a few number of Nnamdi Kanu's closest here in the UK who are really, really close to him.
Okay. So can we facilitate that before the end of the week? Can we bring him in before the end of the week? Mr.
Yeah,
Bello,
no problem.
can we try and see that?
Yeah, I will try and get some of those boys around. I would speak to them, and then for them to get MNK to come on the show.
I will send you a message, Mister. I will send you a message on your WhatsApp
No problem at all, sir.
to call somebody.
No problem at all, sir.
And even if you can bring Showore on board, I want to ask Showore some very powerful question as well.
Okay. Try that.
Yeah.
Was on what's his name? Program.
Yeah, I want to ask Showore a very terrible question. If he's going to answer my question, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just getting a post here, Pastor Ade, that Nnamdi Kanu, as usual, is coming live tomorrow at 7:00.
Okay, we rebroadcast his show last week because we're fighting the same cause. We're fighting the same cause, so
it's more than 20 million.
I think Koiki Media streamed it as well.
Yeah. We have
Yeah, it did. Yeah, remember.
The Koiki Media streamed it. I knew that.
It's more than 20 million on that very day. The guy have a, so.
Okay, guys, because we have other program running after this one, we would like to
Okay.
thank you for being with us.
I think yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Before we leave, I'm trying just to add more to the point made earlier on by Femi Babalola regarding the issue of how we are in a terrible shit in Southwest and especially in South part of Nigeria. We can see from the handwriting that already Southwest is being weakened seriously, both economically, emotionally, and morally. And this is an issue that something serious is coming down to us, and before that happens, they want us to be completely helpless and weak. The only thing that we can do now, as I can point out, is we know what has been playing within our midst as Southwest. Divide and conquer, divide and rule. Empowering some weak links, making them the voice of the Southwest, and giving them power. And our leaders are not talking. They're just behind the scene, reflecting and trying to, regret what has happened in the past. So the divide and conquer problem has to be broken within Yoruba land. And this is the time Yoruba should be that in one unity. And make sure that maybe they pinpoint those who are sellouts of the Yoruba race. Because already we are being sold out. So if we can tackle the issue of the sellouts, and Yorubas are now reacting to those who are enforcing what should not be enforced on us, one of the greatest tribes in the entire world, subduing them and making them to be so ineffective, destroying their region and making them, like slaves. Definitely, every sensible man within the Southwest must rise up now to how the Southeast is going to be salvaged from the pending doom. I've been sounding this not more than 3 years that you have been encircled. Problem is coming to the Southwest. All I get is abuses. But right now, everything is coming to reality. So we have to rise up now because Yoruba race is formidable. We are strong.
Mm.
Can I ask you a
Whatever.
question?
Okay,
Yes.
Mr. Fatai.
And
Mr. Fatai,
Yeah.
can I quickly say something?
okay, go
Can I
ahead.
quickly say
Yes.
something, Mr. Fatai?
Yeah.
Some of the governor in the Southwest, some of them don't understand the meaning of portfolio as a governor. So I would try. They don't understand the meaning of portfolio as a governor. They don't understand what is governor. I would tell you too, because like Babatunde Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State, federal Nigeria president shut down Lagos State. It's not if Nigeria federal government are supposed to shut down Lagos State. It's the Lagos State himself that are supposed to say, okay, I'm
Yeah.
going to shut down Lagos. He have the power as a federation, as a
Exactly.
federation, as
What
a
does that? What does
federation.
that contain? What does that contain? What does that say to you? That is not in
That
charge.
means absolutely. And then again and again, they close that border of the Southwest. They have no right to close that border. The federal government of Nigeria don't have right to close that border. The only thing they can do is this. There is a lot of technology they can use. If the team that maybe is foul game is be playing there, that during the campaign, I say that we need a what we call a value system. That value system, there is a camera. I will say it here. There is a camera that will control from Germany down to that border. Any single pen that drop on that border, we will know that this is ammunition, this is rice, this is fake, this is genuine. But they are not ready for that nonsense. That is why you
Yeah.
see them. They came to Germany. My project of the Siemens, they hijacked it. Abakari came here, he signed, and then where's Abakari today? Bye bye.
Gone.
What I want to say is this: some of the governor in Nigeria, they don't understand the meaning of the portfolio. What is governor? Is only one person that did it then, which is Governor Babatunde Fashola that did it then.
Yes.
He's the one that did, and now the governor of River State did it yesterday as well. Okay, he make his own press release because it seems that maybe he have some people that's really giving him some very IQ information. Because governor as a federation, what is federation? Federation is this, okay, just like the activation of the region, okay, like what they're practicing in the United States. But Nigeria one is just other side of it, a madness
Exactly.
system, a madness regime. So I pray, and again, before we drop here, our king in Yoruba land, the mistake have been done. All the king have to come together. There's no any king that must buy down for the governor. That is why they divide them. If not, tí bá wọ́n divide wọn ni pé wọ́n
Mm.
gbé ọba
Agbára
lórí
fún
governor.
àwọn gómìnà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yóò bá má ṣẹlẹ̀. Òun náà ṣe wọ́n yà wọ́n dànù. Wọ́n divide
Exactly.
wọn
I know
pátápátá.
it's a strategy. It's a strategy to disunite.
Ẹ wo nǹkan tí you can see what Oni did, which I really appreciate Oni. You see, people are mocking Nigeria. People are mocking Nigeria. You can see he went to go and buy all these things, and maybe we don't know where the money come from. Although Oni of Ife is a superior leader of the Yoruba, and they have the money actually. I like what the man did. And the other Obas, they are supposed to come together as a one body. One body, if they can come together as one body, they know all these Fulani in their village. They know all the Fulani because all the Fulani, they have cows in each village, in each city. They give them land. Even Yoruba land don't have up to 100% of their land again. They have just only 30%. Just 30% for you to know that we are finished. It's only God that can be able to help us. And I want to tell you something. If really we want Yoruba to stand, by now all the Southwest governor should be supposed to implement what we call a Yoruba language constitution in Yoruba land. If you don't speak Yoruba, you will not find job in Yoruba land. Even they bring you from the northern part of Nigeria, you are in Nigeria airport, you are in the US airport. If you don't speak Yoruba, commit any crime, they must take you to court,
Correct.
and the person that's going to judge you must be a Yoruba man.
Yoruba George, correct.
Okay, thank you very
Understand me?
much.
And
I really
again,
appreciate you guys.
and again, if they want, they should do that in their law. If they want their Sharia, they should do it there. But one of them, if the Igbo as well, they should do their own. And again, the Yoruba people should not allow, even if they are borrowing money from the World Bank, They are borrowing money for IMF. Yoruba people should not be part of it. We have billionaires among of Yoruba. They should raise the money among of themselves instead of putting the generation to debt. I just
Okay.
believe that Nigeria is finished. Nigeria is finished. Oduduwa
Fantastic.
should come on
I'm
board.
gonna have to
Yoruba
stop you
must
there, Mr.
exist.
Babalola. I'm so sorry for that. If anybody online with us tonight is having his birthday tomorrow, please let me know so that we can appreciate you. If your birthday is tomorrow, let me know, and we can appreciate you. We want to start appreciating our own people more than anything else. We really appreciate you. I'd like to thank Prince Daniel. Yes, you will get your response from Frank Bello. We want to thank Adeshola Adekola Shole as well, Christina Uzuma, Shima as well. We thank you. Bright Kills Nigeria, Gloria Anthony. We thank you. Oba Gold. Thank you very
But I
much.
will still ask you, where is Buratai? Where is Buratai?
Okay.
Buratai has been killed and
Freeman.
buried.
Thank you very much for joining us.
He's
And
been
everybody that joined
assassinated.
us, the one I cannot mention in their name, the one I cannot mention their name, I really appreciate you all. Until another time, which is tomorrow. It's not actually another time. It's tomorrow again. I'm gonna drag Frank Bello again tomorrow, because we
You
have to
haven't you
continue.
haven't you haven't given us the result of the vote cast online on the
I said we
gullible.
didn't we didn't I didn't manage to finalize it because what I want to do, I want to have more people in the panel from next week.
And
And
have you got people who said you must bring in Simon Ekpa tomorrow?
I've seen that. Yeah, they need to connect us with Simon Ekpa.
And
Uh,
please, tomorrow, if you are coming, please bring one of the tough APC in the diaspora. We want to ask them some questions. What the party stand for?
they
What the
no
APC
no
stand
they
for?
don't want to
What does
come.
the APC stand for?
They don't want to come.
And if you can bring one of the PDP as well, we want to see them on show. We want to ask them some a very fantastic question
Okay,
as well.
okay,
And if we
fantastic.
can bring some of the military if we can bring some of the military from Nigeria to join us, or Nigeria police as well, let's just teach them how they can be able to, if Nigeria is still going to stay, to tell them the fact and a very some point, which is very important here.
The people in Nigeria has got a little about the say in Nigeria because they live in Nigeria. They need to be very careful about what they say. Guys, uh, Eve, thank you for joining us from America. We love you. Your brother's birthday tomorrow. Please inbox me his Facebook page details. Nana Lopez, yeah. Inbox me your brother's details, Facebook details. I will try and do a follow up, and we might probably celebrate his birthday within 6 o'clock tomorrow UK time.
And I will try to send you some Facebook page
Yeah.
in Hausa. That's where all the Hausa people normally read their news from. But Yoruba, we don't do that. Yibo, they don't do that.
Okay. So I would like to say a very big thank you. I appreciate you. I love you all. And without you, we cannot do this. Without you, if you're doing this program and there's nobody here to watch it, I'm sure we'll have gone a long time ago. And you've been encouraging us to stay on, stay on, stay on, stay on. Even when we want to close, you say stay on. We really thank you. Frank Bello, the last word to your people.
The last word. Where is where is General Buratai, the Chief of Army Staff?
Okay. In one sentence, your last words, sir.
What I just want is that the leader of Yoruba all over the world should come together. Awolowo have done it before. We have our own home office in London many years ago. Can we do it again?
And
Yes, we can
can
do
I
it again.
respond to that quickly? Yeah. There's something coming up
Yeah.
called Yoruba World Congress. Within the next week or two, I think they will announce the phone number and the address where you can actually visit them as well. The
Okay.
website will come up very soon. They will have a phone number, Yoruba World Congress. You will be able to join
Well,
online.
Yoruba World Congress, I think I'm part of it, but I'm out of it. I'm out of the game because of some issue here.
Okay, this is what we need to correct. We cannot be on the fence
Mm.
to solve problems, right? So
No,
we need to give
I don't
everybody
take
time
nonsense.
out. You need to go back inside, sir, so that we can have one voice and one Yoruba, one Odua people.
It's because I'm a socialist. It's because I'm a radical socialist. We have capitalist socialists, we have race socialists that stand for
We must
war.
not allow that to
Yeah.
reign in the new Yoruba kingdom. Fatai Okrubido, your last word on the show.
Please, Yoruba people, Yoruba nation, there is danger ahead. Time now to come together to fight our cause and to retain our culture and our nation. Please, let
Yeah.
us forget all the problems and let us please break through this divide and conquer system that they are using to enslave us in the past 60 years.
Okay, can I ask you one
Yeah.
question quickly, Mr. Fatai Okrubido? That message you just
Yeah.
passed, that you said all Yoruba should come together. Who are you referring to? Are you referring to Mr. Femi Babalola on that?
Obviously, obviously,
Yeah,
the blood of
please
Yoruba,
come quick. Me and Mr. Femi
The
Babalola, we don't
Yoruba,
belong.
Oduduwa blood is flowing in his veins, so he knows he's part of it, so he can't go anywhere.
Okay, yeah. We
Can I quickly come in there?
yeah,
I have one gift.
yeah.
I have one gift. If I'm doing something, I'm doing something, when I'm trying to see a foul game there, I pull out. That is where my life is.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Even
Actually,
if, even I'm coming, even if we give Yoruba today independent, who is going to be the leader of Yoruba?
But let us
Yeah.
then we start.
Let's break it up first, and then we will start with. There are leaders. We will look for leaders. Let's break it up first.
okay. Thank you very much. Thank you guys. Until another day that will come your way again. I really appreciate what you said. I really thank you. God bless you all. Good night.
I'm Susan Jumoke Fajano Thomas. It is important for us to stay at home. It is important for people to stay at home. By staying at home, you will help control the spread of the virus. You will help control the virus from spreading to your friends, colleagues, and the community. It is important we come together at this time to work together to support each other. Is by doing this and by staying at home that we can fight this virus. Also, it is important to practice social distancing, which means you need to stay 2 meters away from other people at all times. Please, let's do it together. Hashtag stay at home. Thank you.
Heritage TV. La 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 la. Heritage TV.
Everybody in London, have you heard that Heritage Television has come up with something new? All your functions and celebrations can now be multi-camera live stream that was only reserved for the rich and famous. Having a function in London can be viewed clean and clear immediately from any part of the world. Trust Heritage TV to give you a better reach. Heritage Television also does photography that will make you the envy of all your friends and family. Heritage Television is the best. All your functions like birthdays, funerals, weddings, church anniversaries or harvest. Heritage Television is the master. We are in the heart of London with an ultra-modern equipped studio. You can call us on 020-800-46100 or email us info@heritagetv.co.uk or mobile 0734 1234 560. Heritage Television will do you proud.